All right, we're back, True Seeker. It was another good day in baseball yesterday. Today we got more baseball. Take a look at the preseason games, see if we can find any more good coaching riddles. Only thing we were missing yesterday was that Tigers upset. We did talk about at the beginning of the series how if the Tigers won one in the series, they'd get to 38 wins. Astros is 38. The one thing the Tigers had going for them yesterday was they could stay on 23 losses versus the AL West on a 23 date numerology. But that line, I had never seen a line that crazy in baseball. And Verlander was going for his 37th win as an Astro against his old team Detroit, and Detroit equals 37. So I thought that is likely the way it would play out. But we'll just have to remember if we see a line that's negative 540, just remember that. We've only seen one this year. That's the baseball number 54. And I think Verlander's 54 as well. And I saw the pitcher who got the win for Detroit became 5-4 on the season. So, anyhow, Reds Padres, wasn't crazy about this game. Was leaning Reds a little bit because their ace was on the mound. Did like the Rays to beat the Mariners. They got it done there. Like the White Sox to upset the Twins. That was a nice payout. The Diamondbacks became 64-64 versus the Rockies. We thought this is how the series would end from the start, but with that broken foot pitcher switch yesterday, I ended up not liking the Rockies, so should have stayed with the initial thought, but 64-64 is the reflection of 46-46. Rockies is 46. So that pitcher who got called up, who had a plus 11 ERA, he came in and got it done. And by the Rockies winning, they became 10-9 versus the Diamondbacks this year. Rockies 109. Had the Diamondbacks won, they would have been 10-9. Mike Leake also had a chance to become 10-9 total for the season. He came over from the Mariners, now pitching for the D-backs. Hold on, I hear the phone ringing in the background. 1 second. Caller?
Hey, what's up, Zach? It's me, Joe.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, I saw a couple of things from yesterday that I could share with you for the group and stuff. The Phillies won yesterday, right?
Right.
And remember how there was one game for Boston that got canceled and got rained out. It was against the Kansas City Royals, which they're going to play today.
Right.
And I knew they were going to lose it because I think the Red Sox had 67 wins. All-time.
They're on 67, Kansas City 67.
Yeah, that's why. And they were playing them, so I figured, all right, they're going to lose to the Phillies, and it's going to go into that. And then on the other side of it was the Nationals. I guess they were doing a tribute to Tyler Skaggs. And Skaggs is, everybody, like, all people from different teams are wearing his jersey, I guess, yesterday. So the Chicago White Sox guy, Giolito, he wore something with a nickname, and he won. Then there was another pitcher, Corbin. He wore the other one, and he won. So everybody that wore like a jersey won.
Okay.
And I think it was supposed to be like Jesse Chavez or something from the Texas Rangers. And I guess that's why the Rangers probably won yesterday, too.
Okay, yeah, good observations.
Okay.
All right,
that's
thanks,
all I
man.
want to share with you, man.
All right, see you. So, yeah, those tributes, they can be very important. So, again, Rays gave that Mariners the 74th loss. Tampa Bay Rays 74 the day before. The score was 7-4. We did that series perfect. White Sox did beat the Twins. Remember, this entire series, it followed the head-to-head record between the teams. Twins lost the first game, becoming 7-4 versus the White Sox. Chicago White Sox 74. They won the second game, becoming 8-4. Minnesota Twins 84. They lost the third game, becoming 8-5. Twins 85. So another good series. Yeah, if I would have just stayed with the initial thought, we would have been perfect in this series too. But that late pitcher switch really got me thinking like, and I shouldn't have done that, man. That's I fell into the logical thinking, which is how they get gamblers. So even though I know better, sometimes I fall for it too. But we did say this was very possible right here. 64-64, the reflection of 46 Rockies. The Rangers game, let me go back to my notes. What was it? There was a little. Let's see who got the decision. Cahill got the loss, becoming 3-8. So the starting pitcher didn't get the decision. The starting pitcher would have made a lot of sense for the Rangers with a loss, but he got the no decision. So that one was a disappointment. The Orioles look good to beat the Royals, pick up that 41st win on the 41 date numerology. Baltimore 41, stay on 86 losses. Kansas City Royals 86. And like the caller just said, how the guy was wearing a special jersey, maybe that's what it was all about. So Nationals look good to beat the Pirates. Their pitcher Corbin became 10-5. Nationals is 105. Pittsburgh Pirates is 105. Today Scherzer has a chance to do the triangular number. New York equals 666. If the Mets can win today, they will get their 67th win, and Cleveland Indians is 67. Philadelphia, named from Revelation, the book that talks about 666. They got to 66 and 60 and gave the Red Sox their 61st loss. Philadelphia 61. My concern, the only thing I could see going against that yesterday was that Philadelphia could have become 65 and 61. Those are both Philadelphia numbers. Caller?
Hey, Zach, this is Hutch. How you doing, man?
Doing well, man.
Just wanted to say, man, thank you so much, man. For yesterday, man, did we rack up or what?
Well, I feel like this whole week we've been racking up.
Yeah, I have been playing the runs line for, I guess, when you kind of had your little, little hiccup in July. And I've still been listening every day, but I live betted the Rays game. I live betted the Chicago game when they were down. I live betted the Phillies when they were down. And I tell you, I made up for all those losses from July. So
awesome, man.
Thank you again, man.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Man. I'm glad I'm glad they convinced you not to give up on the MLB, because that day, the last couple of days alone, you know what I'm saying, have been awesome.
Yeah.
Keep it up, big up.
All right.
Keep it up, sir. I'm gonna send you one of those. You said you can just take extra Patreon payments, correct?
You can up your pledge amount if you want. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate that.
Coming your way. I promise you that.
All right. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
All right. Take care.
All right. Take care. See you. Okay. So let's see. Where were we at? The Braves, they beat the Marlins. We thought the Marlins would pick up that 41st loss on the 41 date numerology. Braves equals 41. 41 the 13th prime. M the 13th letter on the Marlins cap. This is the game where I should have just stayed with my initial thought. Brewers did beat the Cardinals. We thought the Cardinals would win 2 out of 3, win the series, so that's done. You get your 5-3 score, Milwaukee 53. I got shy on this one because I did like Wainwright to pick up a loss against the Brew Crew, but I saw that his next start will be against the Brewers, and it got me going, that means he could get a no decision today and get the loss in the next game in Milwaukee. So, anyway, stick with the initial thought. I'm always telling myself that too. Cubs had the chance at the 68th win on the 68 date numerology. They did pick it up. There wasn't a whole lot to go off of in that game. The date numerology was the one thing that was there. There's a chance today that the Giants do end the losing streak versus the Cubs and pick up that 35th win because Chicago's 35. But again, the Cubs are going to have the date numerology, so we'll look more at that game. This Tigers and Astros game, man, that line, that would have been a nice one to hit on. And I'm sure some of you guys took it just because it was such a huge payout. Caller?
Yeah, yesterday was another amazing day. I have good news and bad news about yesterday. So yesterday was like one of those days it was up 1,500, but because the Angels lost, they blew my 8-teamer, which would have made it a 100 for $200 or $2,500 day, a 2,500% gain. So 1,500% instead of 25. But it's amazing how even the organic matrix is coming in play with all the numbers we've been working with. Like, we've been on fire the past 3 days.
Sure.
And so at Brewers, though, a few days ago I had posted about it, and I was saying that, well, for one, you had pointed out initially the 99, but so Wainwright entered 9-8, he left 9-9, and I was saying a few days ago that it was most likely that he would end up at a 4.5 ERA. He's now at a 4.51. And what's funny about all of this is Milwaukee Brewers equals 190 and 98, just like his record coming in. Brewers equals 90, 99, and 45.
Right.
And then that Melville game with the Rockies, what was interesting about that is the guy got his first career win, his first career hit, first career RBI. It was just all kinds of firsts for the guy. And the announcers were saying that the manager, I think Bud Black or whatever his name is, he hadn't even met the guy prior to that morning.
Huh.
So it was one of those storyline type games when they did it.
Yeah, I doubt that pitcher really broke his foot. I mean, how do you break your foot right before the game? It is some storyline thing. So.
Well, they knew it the night before or something like that. But the thing today is the Rockies winning. I think they win another one so 2 in a row, and then potentially drop tomorrow. But if the Cardinals lose today, it sets up the St. Louis and Cardinals being in the home record in terms of the Gematria.
What?
Because that's the 36-25 possible.
What did you mean? It sets. What did you just say?
So if you look at the Cardinals' home record, they're 36-24. If they lose, they'd be 36-25, and St. Louis is 36, or St. Louis is 25 rather. And
right.
Cardinals
So it'd be like their
36.
team name, yeah. St. Louis 25, Cardinals 36, right?
Plus, the other day I had mentioned that Texas Rangers game where Chris Woodward had the 53 days from his last birthday, 313 to his next. And you can already guess where I'm going with the Rockies manager because he's 53 days from his last birthday and 313 days to his next. So I think this is another one of those Super Bowl 53 connections. And notice how the Cardinals just lost last night, 5-3.
Right.
So it seems predestined. When you get more into it, I can call back later because there's like a few other notes I have on it.
Brewers games end a lot 5-3 because Milwaukee's 53. That's a pretty common score with them.
Oh yeah, well it's I think one of the most common scores in baseball, period, because it's like 5 to third prime, and they like to always have the primes on the board.
Sure.
But yeah, so today the Rockies are looking really good. Also, the Orioles have like a Super 42 date going on today. So those are two things that are going to be ones to probably key in on.
The most date numerology-driven game today is the Orioles game upsetting the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah,
the Orioles can pick up their 42nd win. They can stay on 42 losses versus the AL East, and the Rays can pick up their 24th away loss, and you got 24 and 42 date numerology.
Yeah, it's one of these games where if it becomes a Rays win, you almost want to like go, what the hell is going on here? But it sets up so perfectly, I feel. So that game and the Rockies feel like the best plays today.
All right, I still got to look at it, so we'll see. All right, man.
I just wanted to add that thing about Brewers. It was too funny. The guy ended at 4.5 ERA.
Yeah, perfect. All right, man.
Thanks.
Good work. See you. Okay. So, Tigers and Astros. Again, Verlander was going against his old team. That line was negative 540. Hadn't seen a line anywhere near that big this year. And the Tigers' one narrative yesterday was staying on 23 losses versus the AL West, and they did. So today they probably pick up the 24th loss. They did get to 38 wins. We talked about that possibility. It just didn't, to me, it didn't look like it was going to be yesterday because Verlander getting that 37th win, I thought that's where it was at. So Astros lose 1-2, 37 the 12th prime. The A's beat the Yankees yesterday. We talked about how that looked good, and A's got a shot to sweep them today, so we'll see what's up. Dodgers look good to beat the Blue Jays. They were a big favorite, so nothing to write home about there. But all in all, another great day. Just wish I would have advocated for taking the Tigers with the monster upset. So I don't know if you want to bet this suspended game. Where are we at even in the game right now? It's so weird. I mean, can't they just call a game? Can't they just call a game once this many innings are played? I don't even understand why they're finishing this game. I'm pretty sure that once you've played 6 innings, or is it 5 or 6, that the umpire can just call the game from weather. That's the way baseball used to be, but I guess it's because it's tied, huh? But they probably could have called it here in the 6th instead of the Royals letting the Royals tie it up. Anyway, what does stand out about this, I personally wouldn't mess with this game just because it's a suspended game, and but what does stand out is if the Royals won, they would get their 22nd away win. Boston is 22, and the Red Sox would stay on 67 wins, and Kansas City 67. Caller?
Hey, what up, Zach?
Hey, man.
Hey, Zach, Tigers Astro games. Verlander, he was going for the complete game, and it's kind of such an opposite for what's been going on in the major leagues. What happened to the closer? They didn't have any closer, so they put him out against the lowly Tigers, pitch him like for a complete game. So that didn't make sense. And like you said before, they having all these pitchers. These pitchers are. I just read an article recently. They're starting around 5 innings at most.
Right.
So,
right. That's the new MLB.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, if you noticed, it's still those late innings, like 2 walk-off hits or home runs happened last night. And there was another upset against the Astros. The Orioles beat the Astros. Guess who was pitching that day?
I remember.
For the Astros.
I remember.
Guess who was?
Oh, was it Verlander?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's on the end of Boba. So they were like the Orioles this season actually. They were like plus 406. The Orioles and they beat. So he's not having good luck. But that's all I got.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks, Izzy.
All right.
So 9 innings, and it was the 99th pitch that ended the game. So yeah, this guy becoming 5-4 stands out because Verlander's 54, baseball's 54. The line for Houston was negative 540. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if I'd mess with this suspended game, but it does seem curious that they let the game go on so the Royals could tie it up, I guess, which is why they're making up the game. But if the Royals did pull it out, they would get that 22nd away win, Boston 22, and the Red Sox would stay on 67 wins, Kansas City 67. But still, just because this is a weird scenario, I personally wouldn't mess with that game. All right, Giants and Cubs. Cubs going for the sweep. Actually, hold on. Before we get to today's games, I want to look at something. So, date numerology related yesterday. Cardinals had a chance to stay on 23 home losses. They lost. Detroit could stay on 23 losses versus the AL West. They did. St. Louis could pick up 23rd loss versus NL Central. They did. So, St. Louis got that loss there. I should have had those right next to each other. I don't know why I didn't. Again, picking up's always stronger than staying on. Rockies could pick up 41st away loss. They did not. They won yesterday with the new pitcher. Orioles got the 41st win. They had the Baltimore and Kansas City connection. Marlins picked up the 41st loss. They were facing the Braves. Again, date numerology is always strongest when it corresponds with the gematria of the teams. Athletics did stay on 41 home wins. Oh, no, excuse me. No, they didn't. They advanced off that. They could have. And then the weakest date path, Red Sox did not pick up the 68th win. Cardinals did not pick up the 68th win. Cubs did. This is why I always say this date numerology path is the weakest right here. I tend to not put a lot of stock in this one. Only one of those things happened. So right now, the life lesson number path, for multiple days has been the strongest date numerology path. And what we keep seeing in that path also is connections to the teams that are playing as well. So, all right. So I just want to keep that in mind as we go through the date numerology today. So let's just do it this way. Let's talk about the numerology first and then go through the games. Today's date numerology, primary methods 24, 42, 69. With regards to the 24s, the Rays can pick up their 24th away loss. And in that game, the Orioles can get their 42nd win, plus the Orioles could stay on 42 losses versus the AL East. This will be a 4-game series, and it would make a lot of sense for these teams to split. Caller?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
What's up, man?
Man, I want to get your take on these 666 records, man.
Yeah, so that's something we've been talking about the last 2 days, just looking at those possibilities. So San Diego, Philadelphia, and New York, those are your 3 teams with the 666 records right now. New York and Philadelphia make a whole lot of sense because Philadelphia is named from Revelation, the final book of the Bible, the 66th book of the Bible, where the number 666 is taught about. And then New York in Gematria equals 666. And in New York's case, they also got their 36th home win in that game. 666 is the 36th triangular number. And then the other game where it happened, or it's not San Diego, it's the Reds. The Reds are the other 666 team right now. It could have been San Diego as well yesterday. But what's interesting about both of those teams is Ohio equals 47, San Diego equals 47, Beast equals 47, and of course 666 is the number of the Beast. Also, what's interesting is the Beast rules for 42 months in Revelation. I see the Reds won 4-2 yesterday, so that could be part of the riddle as well. I'm going to have to think more about where they might be going with this, though. Now that I think about it, the Mets did it over an Ohio team as well. So the Mets did it against Ohio. Ohio's 47. And the Phillies doing it against Boston. All I could think about that is Revelation's 22 chapters, Boston's 22. There might be something else to it, though. So
yeah, and wasn't there a team the day before that did it, or 2 teams or something?
Well, the day before we were just looking at how teams won, how it would set up the 666 thing.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's why we were looking at it days in advance.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then the one game that I missed on was that Angels game. They had the lead, and somehow Texas came back.
I missed that one too. I got that game wrong. So.
Yeah, but I got the other 3 games right. The Orioles game paid off for me. I took your advice on that, and the Angels game kind of screwed me on my parlay, but it's all good.
That sucks, man. Yeah, that pitcher looked so right for the loss, but he got a no decision. So.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing. Like it was going the whole way. Like they came back, so they were down, I think 2-0, and then they got the lead 4-2, and then they had the lead 7-4 the whole way.
Texas Rangers 74, so that's the signature there, and that. And they came back from there. I see that.
Yeah, it's so crazy, man. So I don't know. They know what we're doing, and then they just like flip the script on us at the last second to screw us over.
Sometimes it feels that way, man. Sometimes it does.
Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna watch the live stream.
All right. Take care, man. But hey, if you won 3 out of 4, it's still not bad. But yeah, the Angels, I thought they were gonna win that series. Okie dokie. What's going on here? I'm trying to get back to my... There we go. Okay. Whoops. Okay, so let's look deeper at this Giants-Cubs game. I think that's where we were. We were getting into the games. Oh, we were talking about the date numerology first. So the most stacked date numerology game is for the Orioles to upset the Rays today. They would be a nice payout. I think there's a good chance, this is a 4-game series, I think there's a good chance that they split the series 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll look at their head-to-head record before we make any calls on this, but right now, just with the date numerology, it's looking good for the Orioles. If the Orioles win 2, they'll get to 43 wins. Tampa Bay Rays is 43. And if the Rays won 2, they'd get to 42 away wins. Orioles is 42. So, and the series is beginning on a 42-date numerology. I think good chance for a series split. The miracle would be if the Orioles swept the Rays and gave them 58 losses, because Baltimore's 58. I think that's a little bit much to ask for from the Orioles, though. So, I'm liking the idea of these teams splitting. And the Cardinals today could stay on 24 home losses. Not real crazy about staying. The Rockies could also stay on 69 losses. We have a 69-date numerology as well. I guess I should make that note here. The Athletics, if they swept the Yankees today, they'd stay on 24 home losses. Then again, they could also stay on 42 wins. Again, if the A's do sweep the Yankees, they'll get to 74 and 43. New York Yankees 74. New York Yankees 191, the 43rd prime. And Yankees have not been swept in a 3-game series this year, but it is possible today. Tanaka would fall to 9-7. We've seen a whole lot of that with Oakland. Tanaka would also get his 41st career loss in Oakland. Another big number there in Oakland, so we'll look more at that. Detroit, Detroit beating the Tigers yesterday. It's probably not going to happen 2 days in a row. Guess it was a Justin Verlander humiliation ritual in the end. But if the Tigers lose today, they get their 24th. Oh my God, the line is there again? What is this? Anyway, the Tigers can pick up the 24th loss against the AL West today. Yesterday, they stayed on 23 on the 23 date. And Marlins, they could pick up their 42nd away loss on the 42 date. What we're missing there today is a connection to either team. Neither team connects to 42. I don't like this 60 path. The Cubs can pick up their 69th win versus the Giants. The Nationals could stay on 69 wins versus the Pirates. Rockies can stay on 69 losses. White Sox can stay on 69 losses. In the case of the White Sox, they're playing Texas. Texas does equal 69. So, all right. Just wanted to get that out there. Let's look more carefully at the Giants and Cubs pitching matchup here. I like that Hendricks can improve to 9-9 today because Wrigley's 99, Illinois 99, Cubs is 9. He's 60 and 42 for his career. And how come it's not loading? I got to refresh the screen. It's not loading the splits bar. There we go. Okay. So for his career at home, he's 30 and 18. Doesn't go with our date or our team opponent. And against the Giants, he's 3-2 versus the Giants for his career, so he could improve to 4-2 on this 42 date. Hendricks can improve to 4-2 versus Giants with a win. 42 date numerology. I noticed a ESPN story the day this series began was about how the Cubs might be done for, and it seems like how their bullpen can't stop anyone, and then you just see, and then they go on a winning streak. Pretty much everything the mainstream media puts out is just to put people's minds in the wrong way. So those stories for a gambler, they've probably been betting on the Giants on this series. But we've seen, because we know the code, the Cubs have had the riddles each day. So let's see. This is the last game of the series. Again, last games of series is where you got to remember, a lot of times patterns break. But I do like Hendricks' record a lot here. Let's see what he's done at Wrigley. He's 30 and 18 at Wrigley as well. So that's his home record. So he's pitched for them his whole career. I guess that makes sense. All right, 30 and 18. Yeah, I can't think of any connection with either of those numbers with the Giants. Let's see, Samardzija. Samardzija, 78 and 101 for his career. He used to pitch for the Cubs. He could get his 63rd win in the NL. That's all I can see because Cubs is 63. Caller?
Hey, Zach, just quick question. I'm looking at some of the MLB stuff in regards to Samardzija. You probably know this. I don't follow baseball like this, but I guess he spent his first 7 years with the Cubs initially.
Uh-huh.
And then it says he's 0-2 versus them. Every time he's faced, I don't know if it's 12 or 30 matters.
I see what you're saying. So if he won, he'd be 1-2, like 37, the 12th prime.
Okay, good deal. All right, and then it mentioned first 7 seasons, but I guess the 7 doesn't have any significance. So 1 and 2 can relate to 30. Gotcha. Okay.
Because Chicago's 37. 37's the 12th prime. So if he was 1-2, that would kind of make sense.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay,
Yeah.
good deal. All right.
All right. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Bye. Okay. So if Samardzija won, he could get his 63rd win versus the NL. Cubs is 63, Wrigley Field 63. The Giants' best riddle today is to pick up their 35th win away because Chicago's 35. Let's see. His away record, Samardzija. Let me see. He's 41-54 away. He could get his 42nd. God, that's not going to make it easy. He could get his 42nd win or his 55th loss. Chicago Cubs is 42. Samardzija is 41-54 away for his career. 42 date numerology. Chicago Cubs equals 46 and 55. Yeah, let's see what he's done against. He just said 0-2. Let's just check it out. Yeah, he's 0-2 in 3 starts. 0-2. Chicago equals 37, 12th prime. Can improve to 1-2. And let's see what he's done at Wrigley. He's 15-18 at Wrigley. Number 19 keeps showing up. Let's see who they pitch against next, these guys. Caller?
Good morning, Zach.
Good morning.
Hey, Zach, I'm proud of you, Zach.
Well, thanks, man. I'm glad you're doing well.
You want to tell you why I'm proud of you? Man, you nailed the Baltimore back-to-back days.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you, guess what, Zach? You're a genius, Zach. You're a genius, man.
Well, some days, not all days.
Yeah, right now you're doing good right now, though. I mean, I know sports. You know how sports is. You know, you could be. One time, a few years ago, I was bet on the Nationals. They played somebody at National Park. I was leading 1-0, right, the whole game.
Right.
And the top of the ninth, man, I went to the bathroom, came back, it was 1-1. Guess what happened, man?
2-1.
What happened? They took the pitcher off first. That pitcher was doing good, man.
Right.
Back with Dusty Baker, was it manager Dusty Baker?
Right, Dusty Baker, yeah.
Guess what? He put another pitcher in there. Man, before you know it, man, they have a big one loaded, man. Q hit a grand slam, man. Can you believe that? I could win $1,500 a game. $1,500. I was laughing to my father. I don't win $1,500. Man, before I know it, man, the big one loaded, man, hit a grand slam. The score now 5-1, man. And guess what? They ain't done yet. They hit doubles, all that, singles. The score was 9-1, man. In one end, I couldn't believe it, man. And guess what happened to the bottom ninth? We ain't do nothing.
Yeah.
I know sports work. Sports can be, man, crazy sometimes, man.
Absolutely. Your
So,
story.
okay, who you think win the 2 o'clock game today?
All right, which one's the 2 o'clock game? That's the Giants and Cubs.
The Cubs.
We're working on that one right now. We're working on it right now. So.
Okay, no problem. I just waking up again. You know how I talk to you. I just waking up. Okay, just to let you know I'm proud of you. Thank you very much, man. Back-to-back days, man.
All right, very welcome. Congratulations,
All right,
man.
thank you,
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. His story about losing all that money on the Nationals game. I didn't lose this much. Well, I was about to win $3,500 in a big fantasy football pot that I used to do with my buddies, and they'd hate me for it because I won almost every season. But I thought I was about to win again, and I started to celebrate prematurely. And my sweet lady was there, and I said, "Uh-oh, we're about to win $3,500 more." And it was the year that Justin Tucker. So it's like in your fantasy football playoffs. I think it was at the end of probably like week 15 of the regular season. Whenever the fantasy football playoffs are winding down, week 16. But Justin Tucker had a 63-yard field goal, and if he was going to make it, I was going to lose the game against the opponent I was going against. And but I was just thinking 63 yards, there's just no way this is going in. So I was just waiting for the football to be shanked, and I knew I'd won the game. And, man, that kick went in, and I could not believe it. So, and it was winner take all for that league. So it was from winning 3,500 to winning 0. And I still can't believe it. I'm just like, man, 63. Did I really just lose my fantasy football season on a 63-yard field goal? So, and I did. But that's everybody was on the comment that he kicked the tuck out of the ball to beat Zach. So, yeah, my team was dominant that year. And the guy who was going up against me, his team had never scored that many fantasy points in a week. His team played out that week. And I had a huge score. So it was like a miracle win. Reminiscing about losses. All right. Anyway, Samardzija, we wanted to see, or we did see, he's 15 and 18 at Wrigley. I'm conflicted on this 2 o'clock game because things look good to me for Kyle Hendricks. I really love the 9-9 pitcher riddles with the Cubs, just like how Samardzija is coming in 9-9. But, again, it's the last game of the series, which is where things can get goofy. If the Giants won, they'd have 35 away wins. I think I wrote this down in the team riddles here. So the Giants can pick up the 35th away win. Chicago's 35. And Giants can improve to 64 and 64. Remember, Chicago's 46. Chicago Cubs is also 46. The reflection is 64. Just like how yesterday Rockies is 46. And by the Rockies winning, they made the Diamondbacks 64 and 64. Caller?
Hey, Zach, I was looking ahead towards the Nationals series with the Cubs, and I think maybe they get that 20th loss on the 71 date. The 20th home loss on Saturday.
You're saying for the Cubbies?
Yeah.
That actually is that's a good of you to look ahead and think about that.
So they would be 45 and 20. The Cubs would at home.
Wrigley's 45, Cubs is 45. Let's see.
So yeah, I think they win today against the Giants. They win tomorrow against the Nats, and then lose Saturday. But the Nationals are one of the hottest teams in baseball right now. So
yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing with this game. That's the only possible scenario that I see with this game. Other than that, I would stay away from it too.
Yeah, I'm just because if the Giants win and get that 35th away win, I'm just going to be going, well, duh. I mean, that was right there.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I could say.
I think it would be worth the risk to put like a small bet on the Cubs to win, and but I wouldn't bet too much on it.
So here's the other thing I can say about the Giants. If the Giants don't win today, they're going to go up against the Athletics on 34 away wins, and Athletics is 34. So that would be the reason for them to stay on it.
Right.
Yeah, and I was just thinking about the date numerology, 71, 20th prime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great thought for
they would get their 20th home loss, and they and the Dodgers are the only teams that have records like that at home, where they're like super overpowering at home. So for them to lose at home is very rare. And then I'm thinking, 20 and 71.
Not very rare. I mean, about 33%. 1 out of 3 games they lose about at home.
Yeah, I mean they're one of the best teams in the National League, like the Dodgers, and then they're going to be playing a huge series with the Washington Nationals. So I don't know what's going on with the Nationals, but looks like they might be making the playoffs.
Yeah, they're en route. So, all right, man. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks. All right, so Samardzija, he'll pitch against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the Padres next. And hold up, I don't have my cheat sheet out here. Let me get my cheat sheet out. All right, hold on. I'm pretty sure the Padres don't have a connection to Any of these not. Oh, wait. Actually, I'm wrong. Padres is 99. So if Samardzija got a no decision, he would face the Padres next, still 9-9 as well. Padres is 99. That's his next start. So Samardzija could very well get a no decision. Caller?
Hey, I just wanted to bring up, so remember with that Quintana win and the Leicester loss, or sorry, the Leicester win, rather, in that last series with them going against the Pirates. Remember the thing that stood out with what we identified from that game was Leicester was going into it 186 and 106. He got win number 187. Washington, D.C. equals 187.
Right.
And immediately after that, because it was the Saturday Eagles 107 and 28, it was the 28-day Mirage, you were thinking the 107 was going to come that day. And then you brought up the fact that the 107 normally gets dished out with the Nationals.
Right.
And so we circled the game Saturday Friday for Leicester to lose, because then he would go to 187 and 107 against Washington, D.C., and when Washington Nationals or Nationals is 107, something like that.
Uh-huh.
So I think what the guy was saying in terms of the 20th home loss, it might be that they pick it up on that day, then they stay on it the next day, which would make a little bit more sense, especially considering it's really hard to go against that 107 for Leicester, considering it was something that we identified right before.
Right. Leicester pitches tomorrow. Yeah, he does. So that is right. Leicester's next career loss is 107, and Washington Nationals is 107, yeah?
Yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up because it's something that's probably going to end up happening because it's one that we've seen a lot this year. And
Well, look at the other side of that, though. Look at who he's facing. Sanchez, who can also fall to 7-7, and again, that's the big number in D.C. Plus, Chicago's divided into 77 neighborhood areas, so that game's not going to be easy for us tomorrow.
Yeah, but it could also be then good odds. And the 7-7 didn't hit with Sanchez that other game.
His team lost. His team lost, though.
Yeah, but he got the no decision, so
right. So
he could get the no decision again because these Cubs games have been getting decided at the late in the game. Like last night, it was back and forth in the 7th and 8th and 9th. So
yeah.
Just something to think about. I just wanted to add that thing about the 107 because that's one I've had circled now since last weekend. Yeah,
that's a good point. So for the guy who called before, John Lester, his next career loss is 107. Washington Nationals is 107. I talked about that last time he started. All right. Okay, so Giants and Cubs, man, I don't think this is the game today. Giants would be the better payout, but again, the narrative for the Giants is primarily through. Hold on, what all did I just write down for Samardzija? It's primarily through their record. If the Giants win, they're 64-64, the reflection of 46. Chicago's 46. Chicago Cubs is 46. They'd have 35 away wins. Chicago's 35. However, if they lose, they'd get their 65th loss. Oakland Athletics is 65. They'd stay on 34 away losses. Athletics is 34. And they play the Athletics next. So, and if Hendricks gets to 9-9, that number just hits a lot with Chicago. Just like how Samardzija comes in 9-9. So, again, it's a fuzzy game. Cubs aren't a great payout, so I don't think it's worth it to risk it on them. Giants, plenty of narrative for reason for them to lose. So, yeah, I think we just need to keep looking for better games. Keep in mind, Thursdays also typically not one of our better days of the week. We've had some good Thursdays here and there, but a lot of series end today, and it's just Thursday's one of my least favorite days of the week for picking games. Hold on, I want to add this note about how the Giants face Athletics. Giants are at Athletics next. They can stay on 34 away wins. Athletics equals 34. Can't spell. They can pick up 65th loss versus Cubs. Oakland Athletics is 65. Oakland Athletics is 56 and 65. But they would go into the Athletics with a fitting record with a loss. I'll say that. So, I'll let you make up your mind on that, but let's keep searching. The Orioles, I hope that the pitchers support what we're looking at here because the date numerology is nice for this game. Rays, if they get upset, notice Orioles are a good payout. We've trusted the Orioles the last 2 days. That's just the one thing. Do you want to go with the Orioles 3 days in a row? But the numbers are here. If the Orioles win, they get their 42nd win on the 42 date numerology. Orioles equals 42. They'd stay on 42 losses versus the AL East. And the Rays would get their 24th away loss on the 24 date numerology. Caller?
Hey, what's up, Jack?
Hey, man.
Hey, man, just want to congratulate you on the week, man. Just say congrats. And also, I know you were just saying Thursdays aren't so great. Will you be doing preseason tonight for football?
We are. We're gonna see if we can find some low hanging fruit with the coaching records. Yeah.
Okay. Because I've been seeing some good signs for the Packers. I've been on Twitter and they just keep showing these pictures of Aaron Rodgers and his outfit, and the coach's last name is French, so I just think we need to just lock in on that game and just see what's going on with that one as well.
We'll look at all of them. We will.
All right, sounds good.
All right, yeah, welcome. Remember that that Packers coach, his full name's 243, and we've learned that 243 and 54 have a really strong relationship through the planet Venus, and we saw the riddle with the death of the Steelers coach. His name equaled 54, Darryl Drake. He died 243 days after his birthday. Pittsburgh Steelers 243. And what that has me thinking of is if the Packers did win the Super Bowl this year, which isn't out of the question, they'd tie the Steelers for Super Bowl wins, if I'm not mistaken, at 6. So I really like the Saints narratives. It's hard for me to go against the Saints, but the Packers are a team that I'm getting real interested in. Again, the rituals that went down in the first preseason game, we'll go back and revisit all that when we do our big football analysis before the season starts. But, yeah, Packers are very interesting. So, again, date numerology is on both sides for this Orioles game. And the time date numerology has been good. There's been some games where the date numerology was on both sides and they didn't come through, so keep that in mind. Orioles aren't the team that typically goes on big winning streaks. But I think they do got a shot here. So let's look at the pitchers a little bit more and see. All right, Yarbrough is 27-9. So Yarbrough could get his 10th career loss today. I'm going to note that down. When you write out 10, it's 39 like Orioles. Let's see. Yarbrough can pick up 10th career loss. 10 equals 39. Orioles equals 39. All right, what else does he got going on? He's 16 and no. He's 16 and 2 away. Yeah, that's right. Wait a minute. Is this real? Who has an away record of 16 and 2? This guy's 16 and 2 away. That's just crazy. Hold on. $16 and 2 away. That is amazing. So, just thinking about that. If he lost, he'd be 16 and 3, like 163, the 38th prime. 16 and 2 Orioles. I just got to note it, that he's 16 and 2 away for his career. That's a really high winning percentage. Caller?
Hey, just want to add something real quick. So he would become 27 and 10, which is like 271. 271 is the 58th prime.
Like Baltimore,
is 58. I just wanted to add that. That's kind of stuck out for me.
if I guess if he lost, he'd be 16-3 away, and if you just focused on that 6-3 part, Rays is 63. But that is a crazy away record, 16-2. All right.
Yeah, it seems destined for a loss then.
All right. Thanks,
Thanks.
man. Baseball equals 162, and Major League Baseball is 162. Let's see what he's done versus the Orioles. Maybe he gets all his wins against the Orioles. He's 3-0 versus the Orioles. I guess it's because he's a middle reliever. So because this is going to be his first start. So maybe it's just that he's picked up a lot of wins in middle relief. But even still, it's still impressive. So it's his first start versus the Orioles. And what's it under here? Camden. He's 2-0 at Camden, but he's never started there. So his record's a little bit misleading because it's not as a starter. What was he for his career again? 27-9. So he wins at a ratio of 3-1. And this Waj guy, he's 6-10. Baltimore, he's 2-6. AL, he's 2-7. And he's 4-6 at home, this guy. So that's one thing that could go against him. If he lost, he'd be 4-7 because Tampa Bay's 47. So he could fall to 4-7 at home. And Rays. He's 0-1 versus the Rays in one career start, and at Camden he's 1-3 at Camden. If he lost, he'd be 1-4. Tampa Bay Rays is 43, the 14th prime. Baltimore is also 41, the reflection of 14. So, Orioles still got a good shot because the date numerology is on both sides. If it wasn't baseball, I would just lock the Orioles in. And like in almost in all sports, if the date numerology is on both sides, it's about as good to go as it can be. In baseball, these games don't come through at a high enough ratio to worry about it. I definitely wouldn't bet the Rays today just because they don't pay enough for the risk. I think what we should do is find some more strong games today. And I would personally use the Orioles as a parlay multiplier because they'll be a great payout. Then you can bet a little to win big. They definitely have the narrative, but the pitchers are a little bit concerning. Okay. So we talked about this yesterday. 2 days in a row, the Nationals pitchers can do the same thing. They can become 10-5. Nationals equals 105. Pittsburgh Pirates equals 105. If Brault loses today, he'll be 3-3. Nationals is 33. My only concern is we have a 69 date numerology. The Nationals could stay on 69 wins. And if they did lose, they'd pick up their 58th loss. That's a number that plays hard in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's 58. Just like how we saw how Strasburg earlier this week, we called that upset. He could get his 58th loss. He did get the no decision, but it made us pick the Pirates that game. The Nationals can also get their 34th away win, and Pirates is 34. So I'm leaning Nationals because of the 10-5 thing, but let's look deeper here at the pitcher records. Scherzer. He's 160. Ooh, he could get his 88th career loss. Pirates is 88. And the team... All right, I got to make this note about Scherzer. Scherzer can pick up 88th career loss. Pirates equals 88. And all right, so that's one more concerning thing. Gonna have to look at who he faces next. With Washington, he's 77-37. The NL, he's 86-52. His next loss in the NL would be 53. Pennsylvania is 53. Scherzer's next loss in NL is 53. Oops. Pennsylvania is 53. All right. That's concerning. Let's see what's up with... hold on, let me look a little bit more. Away. He has 84 wins and 45 losses away. And is Pittsburgh Pirates also 84? Pittsburgh Pirates is also 84. So he could... Oh, and you know what else? It's 228, like today's date, August 22nd. Scherzer has 84 career away wins. He has 84 career home wins too. That's interesting. Scherzer has 84 career away wins. Pittsburgh Pirates equals 84. Right. And let's see his splits with the Pirates. He's 5-2 versus the Pirates. Now, again, Pennsylvania's 53. I don't know how much stock I want to put in that. Color?
Hey, sorry to keep going, but I just wanted to bring up the Trump connection for this game. You'll also notice the 88 for Trump is on the Astros game with Cole. He's on 88 career wins. So there is something going on with the Tigers today, potentially. But in terms of this game, so aside from the 69 date numerology, them staying on the 69 and getting the 58th loss in Pittsburgh equals 58, they could fall to 33-32 away, and that would set up the next away game for them to become 33-33, which seems like something that typically hits. Normally, I think I mentioned in the past when a 33-22 is on the board, it usually goes to 33-23, which is sort of the reflection of how it's set up if they lose, which would be the 33-32. And the NL Central record, if they lose, the Nats would be 12-14, like today's 24-42 date numerology. They'd also get to 54th and a loss. And so Scherzer with that 88th career loss, that ties in with Pirates equals 88 as well as Trump equals 88. Overall, he would improve to 4-2 on the season and 11-8 in his career, like 2-8. And so with regards to Trump, it's 2 months, 8 days from his birthday. It's also 69 days or 9 weeks, 6 days from his birthday. And Scherzer could fall to 9-6. And the head-to-head is now 3-3. So with the Pirates win, it would become 3-4 for the Nationals against them. And they just got to 3-3 yesterday.
Right. The head-to-head records. So
yeah, so we typically do see these Trump riddles with the Nationals. So that's what had me lean in with the birthday span. Well, it wasn't a span; it's just a number of days. So that's a more pure relationship with the birthday. So I just wanted to add that.
okay, all right, good observations. Okay, hold on. So that reminded me that I've been forgetting to look at the head-to-head records. Let's do that real quick. Let's go back and look at all the games that we've versus the Giants. 595 and 525 at home. This is going to take a minute to load up because there's so many games played between these teams. But I want to see what the record is for this season. See if we can get a tiebreaker here for that Cubs-Giants game. Okay. So this season, the Giants actually have a winning record versus the Cubs. No. Actually, I take it back. The Cubs have a winning record versus the Giants. The Cubs are 3-2 versus the Giants this year. That means if they won, they could improve to 4-2 on the 42 date numerology. And Hendricks could also improve to 4-2 versus the Giants for his career on the 42 date numerology. So let me see. Cubs can improve to 4-2 versus Giants in 2019 with a win. 42 date numerology. Okay, so that's actually important. That's important right there. And let's see the Rays and the Orioles. See what we got going on here. All right. Baltimore is at 191 wins versus the Rays. That's the 43rd prime. Tampa Bay Rays 43. They have 193 losses, the 44th prime. The next win's 102. The next loss is 89. Well, that's something interesting for the Orioles. The Orioles could pick up their 89th loss versus the Rays today, the 24th prime. It is a 24-date numerology. The last game where we saw that possibility, the prime number relationship with the date numerology, it didn't come through. It does come through sometimes. It's another one of those wishy-washy stats, but it is there. Let me see. Orioles could pick up 89th home loss versus Rays. 89, 24th prime, 24 date numerology. And let's see. Let's see what they've done this year. The date numerology being on both sides, if an Orioles upset's definitely more consistent than that prime number relationship. Okay, the Orioles have 1, 2, 3, 4 wins this year, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 losses. They're 4-8. So that means if they won, they'd be 5-8. Baltimore 58. Orioles are 4-8 versus Rays in 2019. Baltimore equals 58. That's a big number with them. So if the Orioles win, they get to 5-8. That definitely plays. And at home, let's see. Let me count the home wins. They have 2 wins at home and 1, 2, 3, 4 losses. 2 and 4 at home. Just trying to think about that one. Well, there's a little concern there. Orioles are 2 and 4 at home versus Rays. That's where it could haunt them. Tampa Bay is 25, so they still got the date numerology on both sides. The pitchers were a little bit concerning, though. Okay, and then Nationals and Pirates at home. Let's see. Okay. 173 and 143 at home versus the Nationals. Let's see. I'm going to pull up this year's record. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. So the Pirates are 3-3 versus the Nationals. So either team could become 3-4 versus the opponent. Pirates is 34. Yesterday we had this scenario with the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. They were tied 9-9, and whoever was going to win was going to become 10-9, and Rockies was 109, and the Rockies did win, becoming 10-9 versus the Diamondbacks. So the Pirates lost today. They'd be 3-4 versus the Nationals. Pirates 34. The Nationals' next away win is 34 as well. And at home they're 1-2. 1-2 at home. Let me see if they're going to play each other again this year. Actually, let me pull up both these schedules real quick. So the Pirates are going to play the Reds next. Was that at home? The Pirates have the Reds next at home. What stands out about that is if the Pirates didn't win today, they'd stay on 26 home wins. Reds is 26. So their record could make sense if they lost. Again, just looking at the pitcher records, you have to remember Nationals is 105, Pittsburgh Pirates is 105, Scherzer could get to 10-5, and Brault could fall to 3-3. A number of the Nationals dish out a lot. So, let's see, who's Brault face next? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He faces the Phillies next. How many wins does he have again? Wins and losses. 10-8. If he lost to the Nationals and the Phillies, he could become 10-10. Revelation is 10-10 in Jewish Gematria. I saw somebody called in during the last call. If you want to call back, the line is open. It was just busy when he called in. Maybe somebody has the killer observation. Let's see. Well, first the Phillies, and then Scherzer he would face 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Face the Orioles next. You know, if Scherzer lost, he'd be 9-6 to face the Orioles next. Orioles is 96. So that could make sense, actually. If he did fall to 9-6, it'd be about the next opponent. Scherzer faces Orioles next and could fall to 9-6 today. Orioles equals 96. Divisors of 42 sum to 96, 42 date numerology. I'm just bringing that up in case Scherzer did fall to 9-6. That could be part of the riddle. Just because it's on the 42 date numerology, there's the mathematical relationship with 42 and 96. Caller?
Yo, Zach, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Hey, is there a pattern for each day, certain days? I'm thinking about right now, just we're trying to stay sharp on the numbers. But is there a pattern for each day? For example, for Friday, it has to be a jersey number, or Monday's gonna be the floors. Is there such a pattern like that?
Well, there would have to be there probably is more patterns that are day oriented that we haven't caught on to yet, but the Orioles are a team that tend to play better on Saturdays than most days because Saturn equals 93 like Orioles. The Giants typically play better on Fridays. So yeah, I think, and those things will come with more time and observation. But yeah, I do think it's there. I just don't know them well enough right now.
Oh, perfect, man. Thanks. I just want to put it out there. Just kind of stay sharp. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Keep your eyes open. We'll figure it out in time. So appreciate it, man. All right, take care. Okay, so far all the games are a little bit conflicted today, so I'm just gonna keep on searching here. There are some potential nice upsets on the board, though. I mean, the Pirates definitely have a shot today. They'd be a great upset. The Orioles definitely have a shot today. They'd be a great upset. Giants definitely have a shot today. They'd be a great upset. So, I mean, I doubt all three of the upsets come through, but they all got narratives. So, still looking for something clear. Now, remember what we documented about New York pitchers facing the Indians. In the last series with the Yankees and Indians, two pitchers came in 8-6. And they both improved to 9-6. And we talked about this because at the same time Syndergaard became 8-6, and we said, look, Syndergaard will face Cleveland next. He could be the next New York pitcher to become 9-6 versus the Indians. And I was speculating on why this 9-6 thing might happen. Notice if you write out the word Freemason, it equals 48 and 96. It also equals 42. The divisors of 42 sum to 96. Keep in mind, math equals 42 and knowledge equals 42 and 96. But anyway, Cleveland equals 48. Again, remember, Freemasons 48, 96. They're credited with all these sports. Cleveland is 48 as well. And think about the big star in Cleveland. Not right now, but I'm sure he'll be back there with his son in a couple of years. James is 48, and that name LeBron is 96. So there might just be something greater to 96 in Cleveland with sports than we know. But if Syndergaard becomes 9-6 today, he'll be the third New York pitcher in a row to go from 8-6 to 9-6 versus Cleveland. And NYC is another 42. So New York City. So I'm already leaning that way in this game. Plus, if the Mets win, they'll get their 67th win. Cleveland Indians is 67. Is there anything else there? So I like the 67th win. That's been big with the Indians. The 9-6 pattern. Let's take a little bit deeper look at the pitchers. And we can also look at the interleague play records. Yeah, Savell doesn't have much to go off of. He's 1-2. Let's make sure I'm not. Mets is 12, so he comes in 1-2 to face the Mets. NYC is 12. NY is 12 like Mets. Okay, let's see. He wears the number 67 too. His team, the Mets, can get their 67th win. Cleveland Indians 67 facing this guy. Syndergaard's 45-28. It's not gonna help. Let's see his home record. He's 27-13 at home for his career. It's not going to help. Cleveland, whoops. He's never faced Cleveland before. Okay. I got to assume that, that 9-6 thing's not a fluke. And I do like Cleveland Indians equals 67. Mets can get the 67th win. And I suppose the other thing we can look at, well, we can look at the all-time team head-to-head records, that's for sure. New York Mets, Cleveland Indians. This is only going to be the 18th game. The Mets lead 12-5. They're 4-1 at home. Cleveland equals 51 if you use the rule for V, but it is a 42-date numerology. They played each other this year. Mets equals 51 and New York Mets equals 51 as well. All right, let me see. Mets can improve to 5-1 at home versus Cleveland. New York Mets equals 51. Mets equals 51. Cleveland equals 51. Mets could fall to 4-2 at home. It's one thing to consider. It is a 42 date numerology, but I like the Mets here. I like the 67th win, perfect opponent. I like them becoming 5-1 at home because it connects to both team names. And I like the fact that I saw 2 New York pitchers in very recent times go to 9-6 versus the Indians. So I'm going to stick with the original thought. Let's also just to be extra thorough, see who these teams play next. Indians are at home against Kansas City next. And I don't think that matters because their record doesn't connect to the Kansas City numbers, win or lose. And the Mets. Or I guess I can also look at who Savello pitch against next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Detroit. Well, if he was I guess it could go either way. If he ended up winning against Detroit, if he lost today and won against Detroit, he'd be 2-3. Remember, Detroit Tigers is 83, the 23rd prime. Detroit's on the 83rd meridian. Detroit, Michigan's 83. So, could go either way though. The Mets play the Braves tomorrow. Well, if the Mets win, they face the Braves, and they'd be on 67 wins. Braves is 67. Was that at home, or was that away? So they host the Braves. They'd also be on 37 home wins. Atlanta Braves is 37. So we do see a lot of teams start with a record that corresponds with the new opponent they're facing. So Braves 67, just like Cleveland Indians is 67. Atlanta Braves 37. And it would make sense. Well, okay, the other thought is if they lost today, they would have 22 home losses. Braves is 22. But maybe that's how it goes. The Mets win today, and maybe they lose that first game to the Braves to pick up the 22nd home loss, because then their record would be all Braves tributes. So, make sure I didn't miss anything with the home field. Okay. Yeah, I like the Mets. Marlins have the date numerology going against them. They can get the 42nd away loss on the 42 date. Braves are at 38 wins. Florida equals 38. They're not the Florida Marlins anymore, but they're still from Florida. The Braves can stay on 27 home losses. Miami's 27. That would make some sense to go with the date numerology over here. And here, let's see what they've done head-to-head this year. Braves are 144-83 at home, 268 to 183 overall. All right, so the Braves, wow, 14-4. So if they win, they'll be 15-4. That's a baseball number right there, 154. The original number of games in a season. And at home, they are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. They're 6-2 at home. 6-2 at home. Miami could fall to 2-7 in Atlanta. Miami's 27. So let me see here. Miami is 2-6 at Atlanta in 2019. Miami equals 27. And Braves can stay on 27 home losses by winning. The only thing that I see that's concerning is Soroka. If he lost, he'd be 10-3, like 103, the 27th prime since Miami's 27. Be nice to find a narrative for an upset because Marlins would be a good payout. Let's see here. Sandy Alcantara, 6-14 for his career, 4-11 for the season. He's 2-6 away. He could become 2-7 away. Let's see. Do I have notes for that? Alcantara is 2-6 away for his career. Miami equals 27. Actually, I got to play devil's advocate there. Miami also equals 36. Braves. 0-0 versus the Braves in 2 starts with a 3.86 ERA. And what's he done at SunTrust? 1 start, 4.5 ERA. No decision. If he won, he'd be 5-11, 1-1-5 in reverse. Prime number relationship, 11 the 5th prime, year of the 115th World Series. Through the pitchers, it looks like the Marlins have a shot. Because Soroka could fall to 10-3, but the date numerology is there for the Braves. Staying on 27 home losses makes sense. The Marlins falling to 2-7 at the Braves makes sense. Alcantara and Soroka would have to be the upset narrative. Let's see who they face next. One, two, three, four, five. Alcantara will face the Reds next. And let me see. Yeah, I don't think there's any clear sign about that. And Soroka. Well, actually, who do the Marlins face tomorrow? Phillies. Does that make sense? Anything? If the Marlins lost today, they'd stay on 45 wins to face the Phillies. Phillies is 45 in both reduction ciphers. Let me go down and note that. If Miami loses, they stay on 45 wins to face Phillies. Next, Phillies equals 45 in both reduction ciphers. And actually, Phillies, do they have a connection to 81 too? No. Okay. So the Braves, can they play the Mets tomorrow? That game's in New York, right? Yes, that's not going to matter. Yeah, I don't see the riddle with their record in the Mets. Who does Soroka face next? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue Jays. Yeah, I don't see the riddle for him either with his next opponent. If he won today, he'd be 13-3 for his career. He'd have his chance at his 14th win. in Toronto on the 43rd parallel, 43 the 14th prime. It's a little abstract. Okay. Yeah, Braves aren't a good payout. They probably do win here for the reasons we stated. There is an upset narrative through the pitchers. That's where it would have to be for the Marlins. So if you're doing real-time betting, if Soroka got in a hole early and the Marlins were still a decent payout, that would probably be the sign that could be going that way. All right, Rockies and Cardinals. I know somebody called in earlier. They really like the Rockies to win today. The Rockies can stay on 69 losses on the 69 date. The Cardinals can stay on 24 home losses on the 24 date. I see that if the Cardinals win 2 in the series, they'll get to 38 home wins, and I would say that's all but guaranteed. Is this a 4-game series here? Cardinals schedule. Should be a 4-game series, I imagine. Yeah, 4-game series. So maybe they are going to split here. They could go past 38, but getting to 38 is pretty much a guarantee when you're facing Colorado. Colorado, again, in case you're new here, Colorado equals 38. Colorado's the 38th state. Colorado Rockies equals 163, the 38th prime. We have a field day with the Rockies in 38, and all the Colorado sports, really. Let's see. So Cardinals, our pitcher will face the Brewers next. Nicholas. How about that? I want to see what these teams have done against each other this year. St. Louis Cardinals. Colorado Rockies. Okay. 63 and 42. They could stay on 42 home losses against the Rockies on the 42 date numerology. That stands out. Tomorrow, they could pick up the 43rd loss because Colorado's 43 and St. Louis is 43. Let's see. St. Louis is 63 and 42 at home versus Rockies. 42 date numerology. Tomorrow, 43 date. And Colorado equals 43. St. Louis equals 43. So if I heard that caller right earlier today, he really liked the Rockies to win, but I'd consider that right there. If they don't lose today, tomorrow the Rockies would be looking good. And let's see. 2019. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're 5-2. St. Louis is 5-2 versus the Rockies. I'm just thinking about where that could go. 4-game series. What would make sense by the end? If they split, they'd be 7-4. St. Louis is 74. That would make some sense, and they'd be at. I'm gonna write that down right now so I don't forget that. If Rockies and St. Louis split 4-game series, 2-2, St. St. will be 7-4 for season, and St. Louis equals 74. St. Louis would also have 38 home wins. Colorado 38. So I think there's a strong chance they do split this series. That would make too much sense. At home right now, they're 3-1. So where would that make sense to go today? 3-1. You know, if the Rockies lost today, if Rockies lost game 1, they would be 1-4 at St. Louis. Colorado equals 43 14th prime. And again, St. Louis equals 43 as well. So, I mean, for the guy who really liked Colorado today, stick to your guns, but this and this, I think, are pretty concerning for the Rockies. So let's look a little bit more at the pitchers. Marquez is 38 and 24. Marquez could get his 25th career loss today. St. Louis is 25. So I'm thinking things are looking here better for St. Louis the more I look at this. Marquez can pick up 25th career loss. St. Louis equals 25. And you know how we were saying how if St. Louis won today, they'd be in trouble tomorrow because of how things could line up that 43rd career loss on the 43 date? Cardinals, tomorrow will have 25 date numerology as well. The Cardinals could get their 25th home loss on the 25 date. Maybe that's the way that I imagine that's the way the series might go. Maybe the Cardinals win today, they lose tomorrow. Maybe they lose the third game too, follow the date numerology 2 days in a row, and then we know how patterns break on Sunday. Then they come back and win their 38th home win on Sunday, perhaps. So we'll have to play it game by game, but that might be an order or a sequence that made sense. So Marquez, I guess I'll just to play devil's advocate, Marquez could stay on 24 career losses on 24 date numerology, but I like him getting that 25th loss versus St. Louis. There's not a 12-6 connection with the Cardinals, is there? Cardinals is 16-162. All right, let's see what's up with Mikolas. Or actually, hold on, I didn't finish looking at all of our stats for Marquez. Marquez can get his 14th away loss too. St. Louis is 43, the 14th prime. Marquez can get 14th career away loss. St. Louis equals 43, 14th prime. And he's 2-0 versus the Cardinals. So he has a good record against them in 3 starts with a 1.53 ERA. So he definitely has a good history against them. And what do they play? Busch Stadium. Maybe he's never pitched there before. So it looks like he's never pitched in St. Louis before. This is going to be a first. So his wins then are at home. Mikolas. Mikolas, 29 and 23 for his career, 27 and 18 with the NL. Let's see his home and away. Mikolas at home is 14 and 10. And what about against the Rockies? No decision, 2 starts, 5.4 ERA. And let's see, maybe those games were at Coors Field. He got rocked at Coors Field, so that's what messed up his ERA. And let's see what he is at Busch. He can get he could become 14 and 9 today at home, like 149, the 35th prime. Rockies is 35 and the most pure cipher, plus the 14th win. Colorado 43, the 14th prime. So I got to say I like the Cardinals here. All right. Let me see. Mikolas can improve to 14-9 at home. 149, 35th prime. Rockies equals 35. Colorado equals 43, 14th prime. 14th home win. So yeah, his record makes sense in two ways with a win. And Marquez's record makes sense with a loss. The all-time record at home for the Cardinals versus the Rockies makes sense with a win. And the season record made sense too. So I'd have to say I'd be surprised if the Cardinals lost this game. I don't want to jinx it though. I know the trolls are around that work for the leagues, but yeah. So I know somebody called in. They said they really liked the Rockies today. I think they said that was their favorite game today, but I don't know what they're looking at personally. That's not the way I see it. So okay. Tigers and Astros. The Tigers, I thought they might sneak out one in this series to get to 38 because Astros is 38. I'm having trouble imagining them winning anymore. I guess the only riddle I could say for them is they're at 43 away losses as well. Astros is also 43, so if they didn't lose anymore, they'd stay on 43. 2 days in a row, lines of negative 500. Haven't seen this all season, so I don't know what they're doing with that. If Garrett Cole lost 2 starts in a row, he could get to 14-7. I believe Houston Astros is 147. Yeah. So. Let's see. Tigers and Astros. Detroit Tigers, 62nd game. The Astros are at 33 wins versus the Tigers. Tigers is 33. 18-11 at home. The next home loss would be 12. Detroit's 37, the 12th prime. Should have looked more at this game yesterday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-1. 5-1. Detroit. Houston. They fell to 5-1 yesterday versus the Tigers too. Houston Astros 51. Yeah, we should have looked at this game more. I was just thinking that Verlander riddle was too perfect. How many games were played in Houston? Houston's 2-1 at home. They can improve to 3-1. Houston's 31 in the most pure cipher. All right, let's look at Garrett Cole's stats here. Cole is 88-52. So Cole could get his 89th win today on the 24-date numerology. 89 is the 24th prime. All right. Let's see. Cole can get 89th career win, 24th prime, 24-date numerology. All right. I like that this game doesn't pay anything. I like that the Astros can get to 3-1 at home versus the Tigers, though. It's a big number with Houston 31. And Let's just see, just in case they got two crazy upsets 2 days in a row. Zimmerman, 95 and 86. Well, he could get his 96th win on the 42-date numerology. 25 and 36. 25 and 36. Yeah, I think the most likely thing to play here, though, is Houston becoming 3-1 at home versus the Tigers, because Houston is 31 in the most pure cipher, big number with that city. God, I want to rewind to go back to yesterday. 5-1. Caller?
Hey, Zach. Hey, I was looking back, and the Marlins haven't lost a game on Thursday since the 4th of July.
Really? So they've dominated Thursday. We can pick up on, so, again, a lot of upsets do happen in the final game of a series. So the Marlins, the pitcher narrative made sense if the Marlins won today. And, again, upsets in the final game of a series, I'd say that's probably the highest percentage upset ratio, that last game of the series. So, yeah, I'll go back and look at that right now. But, yeah, that's a good catch.
It's kind of eerie.
All right, yeah, thanks, man. Like I said, I wouldn't bet the Braves today. I was just looking at the Gematria of Thursday, just see what's there. There's a reason. Well, hold on. Let's just do this real quick. So, Thursday the 15th. See what the Marlins did. They put it on the Dodgers that day, 13-7. And I think we had that game. Pegged. See if I can jog my memories, because 103 is the 27th prime, Miami's 27. But we really liked, or I think somebody corrected me and said his name's Caleb Smith. So Caleb, we liked that he could get to 8-6 because Marlins was 86. So I remember that game. We had that upset. We saw a good riddle there. It was definitely a better riddle than it is today. What'd they do the last Thursday? Oh, they beat the Braves 2 Thursdays ago. 9-2. See if I remember this game. Keuchel became 3-5. There might have been something with Keuchel's career losses in the Marlins. I think we might have had this one too. I know that we've been able to peg some Keuchel upsets because he had like the perfect career loss total versus the opponent. I think that might have been the case there. Marlins beat the Twins in this one. Remember this game. Don't remember this one. Pineda, Yamamoto. Yeah, I'd have to go back and review. But okay, so all Thursdays, he's right. So they've been getting work done on Thursday. And then July 25th. Wait a minute. Maybe they didn't play this Thursday, so they couldn't have lost. All right, so they didn't play that Thursday. And 18th, they beat the Padres 4-3, San Diego 43. And the 11th. All right, they didn't play that day. So they didn't play some of the days. Thursday, not every team plays. They lost to the Nationals 5-2 on the 4th of July. Nationals got their 45th win in that game, Miami 45. Caller?
Hey, Zach, one more quick tip. Is there like a website where you add on like the most wins, the total wins? Because I'm thinking because I'm trying to bounce off of what you're putting out right now, like trying to see if there's a total win, like a total home runs and like for the pitchers too, since we're on that topic right now.
So you're saying total wins? Do you mean for a pitcher or for who?
Like the team pitcher, because the last call I just bounced off of his idea, I'm like trying to see if there's like a. I don't know if you use a website to see like the total teams win.
Oh,
Like
if you go to like any team and go to Pro Baseball Reference, or here I'll just do it like this. If you go to Pro Baseball Reference and type in a team, so like I'll just look at the Marlins since we're talking about them right now. There it shows their total record. So like the Marlins as a franchise have 1,978 wins and 2,289 losses.
Will that work with the wins too? I mean, like for today's topic, like you think that works? Is that like work with that?
Well, sometimes people do make some really great observations with the team's overall records. So
Yeah, because I was feeling that right now. I was like, I just wanted to share it.
yeah, so that's how you get to it. You just go to Pro Baseball Reference and you look up the team, and then it'll show you. And keep in mind, those records are for the regular season. So
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
all right, yeah, no problem.
Bye.
All right, take care. So yeah, this Pro Baseball Reference has a ton of information, and there's even stuff on here that we probably have never even figured out how to access. There's just so many different things that they have on this website. But all right, so since July 4th, so how many weeks is that? Well, they have been on a tear on Thursday since July 4th. It is true. I don't know what it would be about Thursday and the Marlins. They beat the Cardinals on this day. They didn't play that week. All right. Well, they are on a winning streak. It is true. They have not lost on Thursday since July 4th, and it's the end of the series. It's where patterns break. It's where upsets happen. Oh, they already finished this game. So the Red Sox, it went 10 innings. Okay. Why is the record all wrong, though? Weren't the Red Sox just on 67 wins, and didn't they just pick up their 61st loss versus Philadelphia? What is going on? That's not what their records were. This is so weird. I feel like I'm in a... Am I on the right day? This is not what it was showing their record. Oh, there now it goes. Now it's right. All right. But it hasn't updated, so they just got their 68th win. Kansas City Royals is 86th, the reflection, I suppose. All right. Okay, so again, the Marlins game, we saw that... here, let's just talk about it real quick. The Marlins have been hot on Thursday. That caller was right on. But let's go over the things we were talking about in that game. The narrative for the Marlins to upset is Soroka to fall to 10-3, because 10-3 is like, oh, you know what? Actually, I think I'm forgetting something about Marlins and 103. Marlins is also 103. Yeah, we were talking about that with Walker Buehler last week. So we saw Walker Buehler do this last Thursday. If Soroka loses, he's 10-3. Marlins is 103. 103 is the 27th prime number. Miami's also 27. So that's the strongest riddle for the Marlins to upset. Alcantara, you can make sense of his record, his career away record either way. I should have mentioned Alcantara could improve to 5-11 with a win. 11, the 5th prime number. I guess Thursday's technically the 5th day of the week, isn't it? I never really thought about anything like that in terms of calling games, but Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So the pitchers are the narrative, but I remember looking at the team things. Again, the Marlins could pick up their 42nd away loss on the 42 date. Miami could fall to 2. But they could improve to 3-6, couldn't they? So I almost forgot that. So I guess that could make sense either way. If Miami became 3-6 or 2-7, both connects to Miami. The Braves could stay on 27 home losses by winning. Miami is 27. And if Miami loses, they stay on 45 wins to face the Phillies next. Phillies is 45 in both reduction ciphers. So I definitely would not bet the Braves today. They don't pay anything. Marlins do have a shot. If I was going to bet the Marlins, though, it would be as one of those parlay multipliers. Small bet, with a few games that I like. Try to turn a few bucks into, some bigger bucks. But yeah, there is something up with Thursday. And let me just add the note here. Miami has not lost a Thursday game since July 4th. Caller?
Zach?
Yeah.
Hey, the records are reflecting when the game was suspended in June or May.
Say it again?
So the record that you see on ESPN is reflecting of when the game was actually suspended.
Oh, that's what they put up at first. I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right.
And then since they started in the 10th inning, and then obviously the Gematria worked in favor of the Red Sox today to win that game. So, and then we knew going into yesterday that them staying on 67 made more sense.
To go into today, I see.
Yeah. And then I had a question, but it's not related to the baseball. But are you gonna be doing any NFL stuff today?
Yeah, we're gonna look at the preseason games and see if we can find some more low-hanging fruit. We've been able to do that so far, so that's next.
All right.
Yeah.
And then also, do you ever cover any of the EPL, the English Premier League?
Well, I haven't done that to date. It's something we could add in the future, but I mean, my problem is I don't have enough hours in a day, so that's why I asked people what they thought about raising the price to get some more revenue to hire a staff of people so that we could cover everything. So it's still something that's in consideration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm all for that. The more sports, and then especially if you can have a staff, so we can cover more than just one or two sports. I know right now it's just you, but that would definitely more people would be bringing more revenue, as well as your with even with you with if you raise the tiers, even instead of $5 it was $10 a month or $20 a month.
Sure. Well, if it was $20 a month and everybody stayed here, I know we'd be able to hire 3 additional full-time employees, so there could be 4 of us, and yeah, we could obviously cover a whole lot more ground. So
yeah, I'd like to see that.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll put a poll. I meant to put a poll up earlier this week. I'll see what people think about that, and I'll do it. And if people follow through and support it, then that'll be the future. So. Also, just by the way, if people want to call in about a sport, like if you have a handful of information that you've already decoded and you're trying to make sense of it, if you just want to call in and say, "Hey Zach, I'm looking at this English Premier League game, and these are some things that stand out to me," I could probably give you some analysis on what I think about that, but that'd probably be the way to do it for now. So.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Okay. 5-4 baseball. I think that was the first game like that where they just make up the final innings on a suspended game. I don't remember that happening this year. Okie dokie. So Astros, we were talking about how if they won at home, they would be 3-1 at home against the Tigers this year. Houston's 31, most pure cipher. I suspect that's what happens. Game doesn't pay anything. Let's see. Where are we at? All right, Rangers and White Sox. So Gerardo comes in 6-9. Texas is 69. I don't think White Sox have a 69 connection, but I know they have a 79 connection. So he could improve to 7-9. Chicago White Sox is 79. So that stands out. First thing that pops out. If the Rangers only lost one game in this series, You just never know what the White Sox are such a weird team the way they play. Caller?
Hey, Zach.
Hey, man.
I got a question for you. Do you ever look at the percentage of a team that get blow out a day and next day win or loses? You ever saw that yet?
I see what you're saying. Just I haven't kept track of that, but that seems to be one of those things they do to mess with the gamblers' heads. Like a team gets wasted one day, so people are thinking, oh, they can't win today. They got wasted yesterday, and then they come back and win it. I should document that. So, yeah, it's a good thought.
And you said Thursday is the bad. Thursday's the day is bad, right?
Well, not always. We've had some good Thursdays, but it's often Sunday and Thursday are tough days because series.
There you go. Sunday too. I will bring it up. Sunday is a tricky day, man.
Yeah, Thursday and Sunday.
It's bad luck for me, man.
Yeah, Thursday and Sunday, man. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, before I leave you, do you ever thought about you know how you do the code for the sports and stuff? You ever thought about doing a video that show you how to do it more? You ever thought about doing that?
I could put out an instructional video to help out people more. Yeah, I can do that. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I was wondering. So you could do that. They would help a little more if you can.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, no problem. Go back. You do good work, sir. I didn't mean mess with you right now.
That's okay. Good question. All right, take care, man.
You too, man.
All right, so Gerardo, the first thing that does stand out, though, is that he can improve to 7-9 because Chicago White Sox is 79. If the Rangers only lost one game in this series, they'd have 66 losses and 39 away losses. White Sox equals 66 and 39. If the Rangers got swept 4-game series, they'd get to 42 away losses. White Sox is also 42. I don't think that's going to happen, though. The White Sox don't do a lot of sweeping of anybody. What else might stand out? We have a 71 date numerology in 2 days. The White Sox didn't lose today. They could pick up 70 and 71. Okay. But yeah, the thing that stands out the most is just that Gerardo can get to 7-9. He's 6-9 right now, like Texas is 69, Chicago White Sox is 79. Caller?
Hey, Zach, one quick nuggets about the Braves and Marlins. How about the Braves are over 200? They're like 10-0 since 2010 as a favorite.
Say that again about the Braves as a favorite?
Okay, it says Braves have been a favorite of 250 or higher only 10 times since 2010.
Uh-huh.
And they've gone 10-0 since 2010.
10-0, huh? So either 11-0 or 10-1 today. Yeah, I don't think... Off the top of my head, I don't see how either of those numbers connect to either team right now. Okay. Where was that? Where did you read that at?
It's on a... where am I? This is on a sports betting site. Well, actually, it's a tweet from a sports bettor, actually.
Okay.
And they're saying that they went this year. They've gone 10-0. I'm sorry, 2-0 this season in that role.
2-0. Okay, 2-0. 2-1 or 3-0. Yeah, there's plenty that lines up for the Braves today. Again,
okay.
I still might consider, if you can find a group of games you like, I might consider putting together one of those $2, $5 parlay cards if you bet like that, with the Marlins as a multiplier, just because they'd be a big one. Because there still is a chance Soroka could become 10-3. We've seen the Marlins do that to a number of pitchers this year, 10-3.
Oh,
so yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah.
And it also says something in regards to the Yankees too. Like they were saying that like 78% of the favorites who have lost the first 2 games in a series under the same circumstances have lost the third, have been swept 78% of the time.
And the Yankees do have a real narrative to get swept today, so,
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
All right, good information.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to say something real quick, because I always see people leaving this comment in the chat. Don't do parlays. They're so low percentage to hit. Again, that's good knowledge for typical gamblers who don't have a grasp of what we're teaching here. And I'm not advocating for people to make big bets with parlays. I'm advocating for people to make small bets that have a decent percentage chance to hit. And consider, if you're making $5 parlay bets that can net between $50 and $100, with this knowledge, that means that you get 10 attempts to hit to break even. And if you're doing this right, you're going to hit on more than 1 out of 10, which means you should stay up. For those of you who are newer here, I don't know if Dave's in the chat right now, but Dave's a guy who made a $1 parlay bet earlier this year and made almost $200 off his parlay off a $1 bet. And there's been a few other guys who've done similar things throughout the year. And, of course, Dave, when he did it, he didn't do it with baseball. He did it with college basketball, where things can be real fluid with this knowledge. But, again, for those of you who've only been here for baseball season, you'll see that the other sports are a lot easier. So, anyway, you're right. Parlays do have less of a percentage chance to hit, but if you're smart about them, they can still be lucrative. It's the way to just bet a few bucks and turn it into $100. You can't do that with a straight bet. So that's why I always say straight bets on your really good ones. You know, few buck parlays on the ones where you can get the big payoff. The narrative's there. All right, so let's break down this Rangers and White Sox game more. White Sox versus the Rangers. 2019, White Sox are 1-2 against Texas. Chicago White Sox is 79, the 22nd prime. Let me make sure there's not a 13 connection with Texas. There's not. Rangers. White Sox is 42, like the date numerology. Chicago White Sox is 169, which has a square root of 13. White Sox are 1-2 versus Rangers in 2019. Chicago White Sox equals 169, square root of 13. Chicago White Sox equals 79, 22nd prime. So you can make an argument either way with the head-to-head. 4-game series. What would make sense by the end of the 4-game series? Starts on a 42 date numerology. White Sox is 42. If Texas... No. If somebody got up 4-2, that could make sense for a minute. Okay. Gerardo's 11-14, so Gerardo could get his 12th career win today. Chicago's 37, the 12th prime, plus he can become 7-9. Where's his notes at? Gerardo can pick up 12th career win. Chicago equals 37, 12th prime. So Gerardo's record would make a lot of sense with a win. And let's just see who he faces next. Could be another clue there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Angels. 79 is the 22nd prime. Angels is 22. That would give him a chance to get to 8-9. Los Angeles is 89. So that's not out of the question. Caller?
Hey, what's going on, Zach? It's Joe P again.
Hey, man.
Hey, I heard you talking about NFL and how you like the Saints a little bit, and something about Venus, right? You said there's a connection with Venus and the NFL, correct?
Right.
I looked at Drew Brees' birthday, and I noticed it was 1/15, like 115, like the World Series is the 150th World Series.
Right.
And then if you do his birthday to the Super Bowl,
It's 19 days. The Saints is 19.
I thought it was 18 days, and I thought that was an equal Venus.
It's 19 days. Yeah.
Okay. I must have left that thing
the added day. All right. Never
Well,
mind then.
okay, you're right, though. It is 18 days after his birthday, but it's his 19th day of his age. So you're right about the 18, too. But Saints is 19, and it's the 2019 season.
Yeah, because I was thinking, all right, that's the 18. If it's 18 days away, it's 18.
Yeah,
So,
that's also true. That is true. And he's going to turn 41. Super Bowl's 41, so.
oh, that's right. Okay, that's a good one, too.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, those Packers and Saints, that's definitely my NFC pick. I don't know who's going to win it. I can see it. It's one of those two.
Right, I'm with you.
What are you thinking about the Steelers, though, since that whole death of the wide receiver coach?
I think.
I'm not sold on it yet.
I don't think it's going to be the Steelers' year. I don't see. The most interesting thing about the Steelers is Pittsburgh Steelers equals 243, and the U.S. turned 243 years old. But I don't think it's their year in the AFC. There's too many teams over there that have better narratives. So.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. I don't know. Maybe it'll be that when it's the 2020, the 2023. They get that 2-2-3 thing with the what is that, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and all that stuff in Pennsylvania. Maybe it'll be something like that. Maybe I don't know.
That'd be the Eagles, though.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be the Eagles. All right, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
we'll be doing a ton of work on the NFL. Yeah, you're welcome. All right, take care, man. I might have to take a day off here just to get through the football thing, because I spend so much time on this all day, and then when I work on the football thing, it's like my mind's slow. So anyway, I'm almost done with it, but God, it's a lot to do every day. Okay, let's finish this game. Gerardo and White Sox. All right, Gerardo. Let's see, where's the splits thing? Away, he's away he could fall to 7-9. So there's the Gerardo conflict. Gerardo can fall to 7-9 away with a loss against Chicago White Sox is 79, so that's worth considering. And his record versus the White Sox. He's 0-1 against the White Sox with a 6.75 ERA, 1 start, 3 innings. No, 10.2 innings, 8 earned runs. It's not good. He's 0-1 at Guaranteed Rate Field with a 7.71 ERA. Not good. So his history of pitching there wasn't impressive. Detweiler, what's he doing? Detweiler. He's 24-45. Now he could get his 46th career loss. Rangers is 46 if you use the rule for S. So Detweiler can pick up 46th career loss. Rangers equals 37-46. There's no way a 37 can hit in this game. Caller?
Hey, I just wanted to add one other thing with today. So today has the 169 date numerology on the Hebrew calendar as well as the 69 on Gregorian. And the 169 is relevant because the Astros, they're facing the Tigers, the Detroit Tigers equals 169. There's actually this shot for the Tigers to win today and then the next game and then lose the day after that, which would be kind of fantastical. But given what they're doing, it seems interesting. The other thing is the White Sox, Chicago White Sox also equals 169.
Uh-huh.
I mentioned in the past that teams that typically have this connection with the Hebrew date numerology, especially the English ordinal cipher, they tend to win on those days, as well as the day before and day after that it perfectly syncs up. So like yesterday, the White Sox won. That was 168. And so plus or minus 169 is 168, 169, 170. And also notice today, so the Red Sox already got that win earlier. They're going for their 69th win. They could get the win today, tomorrow, and the day after on the 169, 170, and 171, just like they did against the Yankees at home when they won 3 straight. And the other thing too, so with that Orioles game, the other thing I noticed, the pitcher for the Orioles, he's 244 days after his birthday. Baltimore Orioles equals 244. The home record for the Orioles is also 20-44, another 244. And then the last thing for that Rockies game, Marquez, he is 181 days past his birthday, 42nd prime. As I was mentioning with that, it has that Super Bowl 53 thing. And
did you see everything I showed for the Cardinals and Rockies game?
no, I saw it, but
I don't know how you're gonna go with syncing it up with the Super Bowl over everything that we use every day to pick games. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, it's not just that. It's the fact that they would be 36 and 25 at home. Like, they're right now on 24. It's more likely for them to not stay on it, to go into the next day and have that win, or have that 25, because the 36 and 25 fits the gematria of the team, and it'd be perfect for them to have that record on a day that they're going to win.
Okay.
And,
pretty much everything lined up from the Cardinals for what I looked at today, but if you like the Rockies, go with it.
Yeah, I mean, anything too. So if we're talking about Super Bowl connections, St. Louis Rams with 67 single production, and Cardinals could stay on the 67 wins today. So if they do it as a Super Bowl ritual, it would make some sense.
I don't see. I would never connect this game to the Super Bowl, but
well, Super Bowl LIII is also 181 versus Ordinal. That's the 42nd prime, and Marquez is 181 days past his birthday. I mean, that can't be just mere coincidence.
well,
And then 53 days from his last birthday, 313 to the next. Also, the other thing too with Zimmerman, we can point out these 666 rituals the past couple days. Notice Zimmerman is 6.66 ERA. Teams that typically have that 666 on the board have hit it within the last week, so it's just something to keep in mind.
yeah.
Oh, and the last thing. So the Astros used to be known as the Colt 45s, and with the loss today, the manager for the Astros had become 544 and 445.
Okay, Hinch.
So it's one of these things. It's also the line is back up to minus 540.
It's the same line as yesterday, so I'm looking at. I'm like, wow, 2 days in a row, huh?
Yeah, so it would fit for this Colt 45 ritual in some sense. I mean, it's definitely fantastical if it were to happen, but it wouldn't surprise me in the least.
It is really interesting that they've done the line like this 2 days in a row. Yesterday, Verlander was on the mound. Verlander's 54 like baseball.
Yeah, but I just wanted to add that stuff. I know you like the Cardinals, but this is one of those cases where it would be just like that Rangers and Angels game, and the exact same alignment that had Woodward winning that day, where he is 53 and 313 between his birthdays.
All right. Appreciate it, man. See you.
All right, thanks.
Caller?
Hey, Zach. On the Marlins game, the Atlanta Braves can go 66 and 66 on this day in history, and the Marlins can go 12 and 12.
Okay, and Atlanta Braves is 37.
Atlanta wins, they can go 66 and 66. That's not the same as 666, is it?
Well, it's a little bit different. Has been a theme of the week. About the Marlins, you said if they win, they're 12 and 12. Atlanta Braves is 37, the 12th prime, so that's interesting.
Then Miami looks good then, because 666 is not 66-66.
It's not. But then again, you know what? I mean, the 666 riddles yesterday were with teams being 66 and 60, so not perfectly 666, but still, that is the way we read records. So just remember, don't bet the farm on the Marlins today, because there's plenty of narrative for them to lose, but they definitely have a riddle to upset. And was it you or another caller who just discovered how they've been playing well on Thursdays? So
It wasn't me.
okay, yeah. I wouldn't advocate betting the farm on them, but they do have a shot. So,
All right, thanks.
all right, yeah. Take care, man.
Bye.
Okay. So yeah, again, just about the Rockies game. The Rockies are on 25 away wins. Tomorrow will be a 25 date numerology, so they can slide in still on 25. St. Louis equals 25. St. Louis can stay at 42 home losses against the Rockies on the 42 date, which means tomorrow they could pick up the 43rd. And let's see. If Rockies lost today, they would be 1-4 at St. Louis for the year. That's right, in 2019. Colorado's 43, the 14th prime. St. Louis is 43. And then the pitchers. Marquez can get his 25th career loss. St. Louis is 25. Marquez could get his 14th career away loss. St. Louis is 43, the 14th prime. Mikolas can get his 14th home win and improve to 14-9. 14-9 is like 149, the 35th prime. Rockies 35. Colorado 43, the 14th prime. So that to me, that doesn't look good for the Rockies. I mean, to connect it to the Super Bowl, and again, we've seen that the pitcher birthdays isn't a great indicator. So that's why I even stopped looking at that. And since we simplified things, we've been doing a lot better in August. So I don't know why we would go to tactics that aren't too helpful, but do what you want. Okay, so this Rangers and White Sox game. I can't get through this game. I keep getting phone calls. Detweiler. He is 24-45. His next loss is 46. Chicago's 46. Could pick it up in Chicago. He's 3-13 versus the AL. If he lost, he'd be 3-14 like Pi. Let me see. Detweiler is 24-45 for a career. 24 date numerology if he stayed on it. Chicago's 46. He could pick up his 46th loss in Chicago. And so Gerardo's got two things in his favor and one against him. The concern for Gerardo is that he could fall to 7-9 away because Chicago White Sox is 79, but he can also become 7-9 for the season. Let's see who they face next. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, he faces the Angels next. If he won, he'd be 7-9, the 22nd prime. Angels is 22. Was that game away in Los Angeles? Games in Los Angeles. If he lost, though, it'd be the same type of thing. 7-9 away going into Los Angeles. Let's see who Detweiler faces next. Or actually, I'm looking at the wrong thing anyway. This is who Detweiler faces next. Not who Gerardo faces next. Hold on. One, two, three, four, 5. He faces the Twins next. Well, Twins is also 22. So that's not going to help. If Detweiler lost, he actually faces LA next. LA's 13-14. Detweiler will face LA next. LA equals 13-14. All right. I do like the narrative for Gerardo a little bit more, but I can't say that I'm thrilled about this game. Okay, Yankees and Athletics. If the Athletics win, it'll be the first time the Yankees have been swept in a 3-game series this year. They've only been swept in a 2-game series versus Arizona early in the year. But we've been talking about this since the beginning, that the A's have a chance to sweep this series because they'd get to 74 wins and 43 home wins. New York Yankees 74. New York Yankees 191, the 43rd prime. Athletics equals 34-43. If the A's won today, they'd stay on 24 home losses on the 24 date. And they could also stay on 42 home wins on the 42 date. That could also go against them. But what stands out in a big way is Tanaka's record. If Tanaka loses, he's 9-7. And remember, Athletics is 97. Oakland Athletics is 97. Plus, he can get his 41st career loss, and Oakland's 41. Let me put up his stats here. Tanaka. He's 73 and 40 for his career, so he can get the 41st loss, but there is something to consider with 74. Oakland, California is 74, so that's his one narrative to break it up. And Oakland, California is also 106. He could improve to 10-6, but we've seen that 97 play pretty consistently with the A's this year. Tanaka can get 41st career loss. Oakland is 41. Tanaka can pick up 74th win. Oakland, California equals 74. Yankees equals 74. Let's look more at the head-to-head between these teams. One second, it's loading the games. Just takes a second. A's are 2-0 versus the Yankees for this year. 2-0, that's right. First series. 2-0. If the Athletics lost, what I would see in their record is them staying at 73 wins, because Yankees is 37, the reflection. If the Athletics win, the Yankees stay at 34 away losses. Athletics is 34. The name of the ballpark the Athletics play in is 101, the 26th prime. I'm going to write that down on the team riddles. Yankees can pick up 26th away loss. A's ballpark sums to 101, 26th prime. And again, that's right here on the cheat sheet if you just want to verify that with your own eyes. Oakland, Alameda County Coliseum, 101, the 26th prime. Let's see what Rourke is. Rourke is 71 and 62, and in the AL he's 1-1. If he lost, that's the other thing that go against the A's today. If he lost, he'd be 1-2. Yankees is 37, the 12th prime, like 1 and 2 is like 12. Let's see. In my mind, I just keep doubting that the Yankees are going to get swept, even though the numbers are there for it to happen. He's 33 and 33 at home, so that could go either way. Athletics 34, New York 33. And what about against the Yankees? He's 0-1 versus the Yankees. 1 start, 6 innings, 3 earned runs. Not a lot to go off of. And maybe that game was at Yankee Stadium. Yeah, it was. That was at Yankee Stadium. And how is he at Oakland? So far, he's 3-0 at Oakland Coliseum in 5 starts. 6th start today. Oakland does have the Gematria 31. Tanaka's 3-0. Pitching in Oakland. Oakland equals 22-31. Yeah, even though I'm doubting just the Yankees getting swept because it hasn't happened to them, I mean, the Tanaka riddle is really strong for him to lose. 97 hits so much with Oakland, he can fall to 9-7, and he can get the 41st career loss. Another big number with Oakland. It's just he does have a shot at that 74th win. And something I should say about 74 is if you write out 42 as a word, it equals 74. Because we have the 42 date numerology. So it's one other thing to consider. But based on the historical pattern that we've seen this year, the 97's most likely. Keep in mind there's something to the start time of this game. It's starting at 37 minutes after the hour. That's Yankees number. And a lot of times those start times, when they do connect to a certain team, it's a good sign for that team. So that looks to be the awkward start time of the day. Who do the Yankees play next? Here, hold on. Let's look at both pitchers who they face next. I don't think Dodgers have a connection to 83. Dodgers. All right, so if the Yankees didn't lose, they'd stay on 45 losses to face the Dodgers. Doesn't have to be that way. If they won, they'd be one shy of 36. Dodgers is also 36. Tanaka, who's he going to face next? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to face the Mariners next. You know, Mariners equals 97 as well. Remember the A's and Mariners first game of the season? The Mariners won 9-7. So if he does fall to 9-7, well, that makes even more sense. So the 297 teams. Okay, so that's one more strike against Tanaka. And let's see. See if we can figure something out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to be 7 games by the time they're done with the Mariners. Is there anything that could make sense? Away games. Alright, what about from the Athletics perspective? Athletics. They host the Giants next. 2, 3, 4, 5. Rourke will face the Royals next. And actually, I'm not thinking about Tanner Rourke's stats for the whole season. Hold on. Because he got traded. Tanner Rourke is 7-8 for the year. 7-8. If he lost, he'd be 7-9, like 79 the 22nd prime. Oakland's 22. Kansas City Royals. many career wins did he have? Rourke's next career loss is 63. His next career win is 72. Royals is 72. If he could get a no decision today. But Rourke, his next win would make more sense over the Royals because Royals is 72. That's who he faces next. He's host the Giants tomorrow. The A's next home loss is 25, and they face the Giants next. So the question becomes, do they go in with the 25, or do they pick that up against the Giants? And again, there's no set pattern on that. Teams do go in a lot with the number, but sometimes they come in one short to pick it up against the team. For those of you who've benefited from the week we've had a great week. Be real cautious today. You don't want to, give away the money you've earned this week because again, Thursday's a dangerous day, and a lot of today's games are dangerous. Still putting in the time, just because we're only going to learn and improve if we put in the time. But let's see. Rourke's next career win is 72. Royals equal 72. Who he faces next. So the numbers are there for the Athletics to sweep, but I got to write this part down about this as well. Put it here. A's next home loss is 25. Giants equals 25, who they host at home next. And, that game is tomorrow. They could pick up their 25th. If they won today, they could pick up their 25th loss tomorrow on the 25 date numerology against the 25 team, which is the Giants. Or wait a minute. I take it back. They don't play tomorrow. That's weird. Oh, because it's a 2-game series. So they play Saturday, the date with 26 numerology. If they lost today, they could get their 26th loss of the season on the 26th date versus the Giants, but All right, Blue Jays and Dodgers. We've been talking about the Dodgers getting to 85 wins. That makes a lot of sense because Toronto Blue Jays is 85. And if Waguespack loses, he'll be 4-2. Los Angeles Dodgers is 181, the 42nd prime, plus you have a 42-date numerology. The Blue Jays' narrative to win would be to get the 53rd win of the season because Los Angeles is 53. And the Dodgers' narrative to lose would be to get the 17th home loss because Toronto Blue Jays is 59, the 17th prime. Kenta Maeda could also fall to 8-9. Los Angeles Dodgers is 89. So there is an upset narrative here for the Blue Jays. But that date numerology, that 85th win, we've seen those numbers a lot. So let's come back and do the pitchers. Let's look a little bit more. Legs back. Again, with the loss, he's 4-2. He comes in 4-1, LA 41. Los Angeles Dodgers 181, the 42nd prime, 42 date numerology. And let's see what his away is. He's 2-0 away. So if he lost, he'd be 2-1. Los Angeles Dodgers is 73, the 21st prime. Waguespack is 2-0 away for his career. Los Angeles Dodgers equals 73, 21st prime, 2-1. Oops, can't type. And I highly doubt he's... No, he is not. And Maeda, he's 45 and 35. Well, now that gets interesting right there because Toronto's 36 in both reduction ciphers. That's a big number with Toronto. I guess I should make this note too. 89, 24th prime, 24 date numerology. Maeda's next career loss is 36. Toronto is 36 in both reduction ciphers. It's always a number that plays big with Toronto. And Dodgers is also 36. Keep in mind, we did see Kershaw at the beginning of the series. He had a chance to get his 72nd career loss. Toronto's 72 like Dodgers. He avoided doing that. Let's look more at his stats. Splits. Let's see. He's 19 and 18 away. Or no, he's at home anyway. 26 and 17. So that doesn't connect. And Blue Jays, is he pitched? Yeah. He's 0-0 versus the Blue Jays. 1 start, 3 ERA. He's 26 and 17 at Dodger Stadium. Well, the Blue Jays are another team that have a shot. There's a lot of potential upsets on the board today. Again, the upset narrative for the Blue Jays is to give the Dodgers the 17th home loss. Toronto Blue Jays is 59, the 17th prime, and to pick up the 53rd away win because Los Angeles is 53. Kenta Maeda, he could also get his 36th career loss, and Toronto's 36. And if he did lose, he would fall to 8 and 9. Los Angeles Dodgers is 89. That's the 24th prime. You have a 24-date numerology. But at the same time, Dodgers have a shot at the 85th win. Toronto Blue Jays is 85. Wagspec could fall to 4 and 2 on the 42 date. Los Angeles Dodgers 181, the 42nd prime. So, again, it's another tight riddle, but there is an upset narrative. This game reminds me of the Marlins game. So let's review everything and then hit the football games. Giants and Cubs. To me, this game was a little bit too tight today. There was a lot that looked good for the Cubs and Kyle Hendricks, but I worry about the Giants pulling out that 35th away win because Chicago's 35. As we said, though, the Giants' next game is back in Oakland against the Athletics. If the Giants do lose today, they would get their 65th loss and stay at 34 away wins. Oakland Athletics is 65, Athletics is 34. But even still, not real thrilled about this game right here. The Rays and Orioles. Orioles have the date numerology on both sides. They can get the 42nd win on the 42 date numerology. Orioles equals 42. The Rays could get their 24th away loss on the 24-date numerology. The pitchers is where things get a little bit hairy. Yarbrough, well, it's his first start against Baltimore. He's been really good as a middle reliever. Yarbrough could get his 10th career loss today. When you write out 10 as a word, it sums to 39 like Orioles. Wojciechowski, the scare for him is that he's 4 and 6 at home. If he lost, he would be 4 and 7. Tampa Bay's 47. I guess I can also note that Maryland's 47 where they play. Woj is also 1 and 3 at home, and if he lost, he'd be. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. This is for the. Wait a minute. What did I do here? He's 4 and 6 at home for his career. He's 1 and 3 at home for the season. So for the year, he's 1 and 3 at home. If he lost, he'd be 1 and 4. Tampa Bay Rays is 43, the 14th prime. So date numerology says another Orioles upset. And hold on, before I go any further, I wanted to look a little bit more at division records. I just meant to check the interleague play for Toronto and LA. Toronto is 2 and 13 versus the NL. LA's 13 and 14. 213 is the LA area code. LA's 5-6 versus the AL. Hard to say. The other thing about the Baltimore game today is if they didn't lose, they'd stay on 42 losses versus the AL East. So that's one other way 42 could play for the Orioles. And hold on, there was something else in the team riddles. I think there's a good chance these teams go 2-2 against each other in this 4-game series so that the Orioles get to 43 wins, Tampa Bay, Rays 43, Rays get to 42 away wins, Orioles 42. The Orioles are 4-8 versus the Rays in 2019. If they won, they would be 5-8. Baltimore's 58. But the trouble is, the Orioles at home are 2-4 versus the Rays, and if they lost, Tampa Bay's 25. So, not making it easy for us. I guess something else I should say though is Rays could fall to 4-3 in Baltimore. From their perspective, Tampa Bay Rays is 43. So the way I would play the Rays today is if you can find a game that you really like, a couple of games you really like, mix up some parlays today, some small ones with some of these big multipliers. Orioles, again, would be a really nice upset. We've taken the Orioles the last 2 days and won with them. I feel like taking the Orioles 3 days in a row is kind of greedy. So, again, that's my caution about Thursday. Thursday is a tough day. We've done really well this week. Don't want any sour grapes on Thursday. The Nationals and the Pirates, again, yesterday it was a strong riddle for the Nationals. The pitcher had the same record as Scherzer. He came in 9-5. He could improve to 10-5. Pittsburgh Pirates 105. Nationals 105. Today there's a little bit more conflict because of what else is going on in Scherzer's record. So Scherzer could improve to 10-5 like yesterday's pitcher, but when we looked at Scherzer's record, there were some big concerns here. He could get his 88th career loss. Pirates is 88. His next loss versus the National League's 53. Pennsylvania's 53. Scherzer has 84 career wins. Away wins, that is. He has 84 career away wins. Pittsburgh Pirates is 84. Pittsburgh Pirates is also 228, like United States of America in today's 22/8. If Scherzer lost today, he'd fall to 9-6. He faces the Orioles next. Orioles is 96. So, that's a lot that could go against Scherzer, but he still has the riddle to become 10-5. And if Brault lost, he would be 3-3. Nationals is 33. They dish out that number a whole lot. So, Nationals are big favorites. If the Nationals win, they get the 34th away win. Pirates is 34, but if they lose, they get the 58th loss. And Pittsburgh's 58. Number we see a lot. We called the Pirates upset of the Nationals earlier this series because we saw that Strasburg could get his 58th career loss. And he didn't get credited with the loss, but his team lost that game. So, again, I would be careful here. And remember, it's okay to get on both sides of a game in some cases if you're mixing up your parlay cards. So, just do the math on how things would work out. Indians and Mets. I do like the Mets today. It is Thursday where patterns break, but there's enough things here that make me like the Mets. The Mets can get the 67th win. The starting pitcher for the Indians is number 67. Cleveland Indians equals 67. So that's one thing. Syndergaard can improve to 9-6. The last 2 times pitchers came in against the Indians, they were both Yankee pitchers. They both came in 8-6, and they both improved to 9-6. And we talked about the relationship with 96 and Freemason and Cleveland and LeBron James, because maybe there really is some pattern to 96 in Cleveland through the Freemason connection. But like that. And I swear there was something else. Let me see what I wrote down in the team riddles. I thought there was one other thing about this game. The Mets can improve to 5-1 at home versus Cleveland. New York Mets is 51, Mets is 51, Cleveland's 51. That's all time. The one thing that could go against the Mets is right there. The Mets could fall to 4-2 at home on the 42-date numerology. And I'll just jot down NYC's 42 as well. So there is that. That's the one concern. But I like the 67th win. Cleveland Indians 67. The pitcher's number 67. And I like that I saw the last two pitchers who were 8-6 improve to 9-6 versus Cleveland. So just following a pattern that we documented about a week ago. Miami has a prayer to win today. A caller called in and pointed out that Miami has not lost on a Thursday since July 4th. They haven't played every single Thursday because Thursday's the day of the week where some teams get a day off, but they've won every Thursday they have played on since July 4th. And if Soroka lost today, last week the Marlins beat the Dodgers. Last week we liked the Marlins to beat the Dodgers. Last week they had a better riddle, the Marlins did. But last week the Dodgers pitcher fell to 10-3 against the Marlins. Marlins equals 103, and 103 is the 27th prime. Miami's 27. So it is there again, the upset with Soroka. What's up, caller? Oh, he hung up. Sandy Alcantara, he does not have nearly as good of a riddle as the pitcher did last week for the Marlins. Last week's Thursday pitcher for the Marlins improved to 8-6 by winning. Marlins is 86. So, what goes against Miami today is they can get the 42nd away loss on the 42-date numerology. They can stay at 45 wins because they play the Phillies next. Phillies is 45 in both reduction ciphers. And there's something else. Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, the Braves could stay on 27 home losses. Miami's 27. And let me check. I thought there was something else. Alcantara, you can make sense of his record either way with a win or a loss. His away record, he can fall to 2-7 or improve to 3-6. Miami's 27-36. Alcantara, if he did win, he'd be 5-11. You're the 115th World Series, 11 the fifth prime. So if I'm taking the Marlins today, it's a small bet and it's in a parlay, trying to turn a few bucks into some big bucks. You know, the primary riddle would be through Soroka getting the loss. The Rockies and Cardinals, we got a caller who really likes the Rockies to win today. It's one of his favorite picks, but I got to disagree with him. The way I look at this, Marquez can get his 25th career loss. St. Louis is 25. That's the number they dish out. The narrative for Marquez to not lose would be to stay on 24 career losses on the 24-date numerology. Marquez can also get his 14th career away loss. St. Louis is 43, the 14th prime. Mikolas for the Cardinals can improve to 14-9 with a win. 149 is the 35th prime. Rockies is 35. Also getting that 14th win. Colorado's 43, the 14th prime. And then in the team records, the Rockies can stay on 25 away wins. Tomorrow has 25-date numerology. St. Louis equals 25. St. Louis can stay on 42 losses at home versus the Rockies on the 42-date numerology. Tomorrow's the 43-date, so Rockies could give St. Louis their 43rd loss at home on the 43-date tomorrow. And I do think there's a good chance these teams go 2-2 against each other in the series, because if they do, St. Louis will be 7-4 against the Rockies for the season. St. Louis equals 74 and 47. From the Rockies' perspective, they'd be 4-7. And if St. Louis wins 2, they get to 38 home wins. Colorado's 38. If the Rockies lost game 1 of this series, they would be 1-4 at St. Louis this year. 1-4 is like 14. Colorado's 43, the 14th prime. St. Louis is 43, the 14th prime. So for the caller who really likes the Rockies, I mean, stick with it. That's your gut call. That's the way you feel about it. The Rockies are likely going to split the series. So if you look at it just that way, then they have a 50-50 shot to win today. But again, the way things line up for both pitchers and the season head-to-head record, I got to lean Cardinals on this one. Tigers, 2 days in a row, the line's negative 540. They won with this line yesterday. Could they do it 2 days in a row? Yesterday, I overlooked something huge. By the Tigers winning yesterday, the Astros became 5-1 against the Tigers. Like 51, big number with the Astros when they won the World Series. They won that last game 5-1. Houston Astros is 51, so falling to 5-1 made a lot of sense. If the Astros won today, they'd be 3-1 at home. Houston's 31. And obviously, I wouldn't bet the Astros. Just like I said yesterday, it's not worth it. I mean, too much delay to win anything. But if you want to take the Tigers as a parlay multiplier, if they shock the world 2 days in a row with this crazy line, I mean, it's not out of the question. I don't see a lot going for the Tigers today, but I missed yesterday that they had the 5-1 thing in their favor. So, again, the Tigers are at 38 wins. We talked about them possibly winning one game in the series, which they've now done because Astros is 38. They're at 43 losses. Astros is also 43. I suppose that would have to be the narrative for the Tigers to win today, to stay on 43 away losses. And let's just look one more time at who they play next. If they don't win, they stay on 38 wins to go into Minnesota as well. Minnesota's 38. So Astros probably do improve to 3-1 at home versus the Tigers, because again, Houston's 31 in the most pure cipher. Caller?
Hey Zach, since you mentioned the 5-1, did you see the time on the board? It says 5:10. So like the 5-1 is in there still. I just wanted to mention that.
Are you saying the line for the game?
Yeah, the time I start.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, the start time, 5:10. Yeah, that's like 51 like Houston Astros. You're right. Okay.
Yeah. So when you said Astros, is it going to be favored for the Astros, or is it going to be favoring Tigers?
Oh, because of the start time at 5:10? I'd say that's a good sign for the Astros.
Oh, it's for Astros? Oh, shit.
Yeah, because they're the team with the 51 connection. So.
All right. Cool, man. I just want to say that.
Yeah, no problem. You can still take the Tigers on like a $1 bet on a parlay. If they hit with the rest of your teams, your dollar would probably turn into $100. So, but yeah, they're probably going to go into Minnesota sitting on 38 wins. Big Minnesota number. We used that yesterday in the White Sox upset. All right. Okay, Rangers and White Sox. Gerardo, if he wins, he's 7-9, and Chicago White Sox is 79. And he plays the Twins next. 79 is the 22nd prime. Gerardo could also get his 12th career win. Chicago's 37, the 12th prime. Rangers is also 37. That's the overlap number in this series. The concern for Gerardo is he could fall to 7-9 away with a loss as well, and Chicago White Sox is 79, so the 79 can actually play either way for him. But the 12th career win against Chicago would make some sense. Detweiler could get his 46th career loss, and Rangers does have the 46th connection. He could stay on 24 career wins on the 24-date numerology. If he loses, he'd be 1-4. He faces LA next. LA's 13 and 14, so it would make sense if he fell to 1-4. So to me, things look a little bit better for the Rangers here, but I don't know. I guess I have a bad feeling about all games on a Thursday, just because I know that Thursday so often can be an awkward day. I shouldn't be too down about it, though. We've had good Thursdays, but just I know it's a funny day like Sunday. Yankees and A's. Again, Tanaka, he can fall to 9-7. We've seen that play so much with the Athletics. Athletics 97, Oakland Athletics 97. He faces the Mariners next. Mariners 97. If he does lose today, he gets his 41st career loss. Oakland 41. The narrative for him to win would be to get his 74th career win. Oakland, California is 74. Oakland, California is also 106. So he could become 10-6 and get his 74th career win and help the Yankees avoid the sweep. There's something strange about this start time of 6:37 because Yankees is 37, and if the A's lost, they'd stay on 73 wins, the reflection of 37. Again, if the Yankees do lose, they stay on 34 away wins. Athletics is 34. And if the A's do win, they get the 74th win. New York Yankees 74. They also get the 43rd home win. New York Yankees 191, the 43rd prime. So Tanner Roark with a loss would fall to 7-9 for the year. He's technically 7-8 for the year, like New York's 78. If he lost, he'd be 7-9. 79 is the 22nd prime. Oakland's 22. Rourke's next career win is number 72, and he plays the Royals next. Royals is 72, so I have a feeling we're not going to see Rourke get the decision. The start time's bugging me about this game, and just the fact that the Yankees have not been swept. I mean, the Yankees look like the team this year, and usually the team makes statements like, okay, we're down 0-2, but we're not going down 0-3 in this series. So, hold on, let me take this call real quick. It's my girlfriend here. Hold. Hello? I am. I didn't know you left. Okay. All right. Bye. All right. She's not happy with me, but okay. All right. She wants me to come pick her up, but we can't. We still got football to do. So, again, you're going to have to go with your gut today on these calls. There's a lot of tight calls. I mean, the riddle is there for Tanaka to lose, and it's pretty strong, but I'm just going, man, will they really go down 3? Are they going to get swept? And Blue Jays and Dodgers. Dodgers win, they get that 85th win. Toronto Blue Jays is 85. What was it for Kenta made it again? Okay, so that's pretty much the riddle for the Dodgers to win, to get that 85th win. The riddle for the Blue Jays. Oh, the one other thing for the Dodgers is if Waguespack loses, he becomes 4-2 on the 42-date numerology. Los Angeles Dodgers is 181, the 42nd prime. So it's those two things for the Dodgers. The 85th win, Toronto Blue Jays, making him 4-2. The Blue Jays narrative is to get the 53rd win, Los Angeles 53, and to give the Dodgers the 17th home loss, Toronto Blue Jays 59, the 17th prime, and to make Kenta Maeda 8-9, Los Angeles Dodgers 89, 89 is the 24th prime, 24-date numerology, and to give Maeda his 36th career loss. Toronto's 36 in both reduction ciphers, like Dodgers is 36. So it's not a bad riddle for the Blue Jays to upset, really. But, I mean, you do have a narrative for the Dodgers, so it's not a one-way street. And all in all, a lot of tight calls today. So, again, if you've had a great week, which I imagine a lot of you have, it would be a good day to chill out. I will link all the notes in the description, but let's go to the NFL right now and see if we can find some more low-hanging fruit, because we've learned that the coaches' records where they can have sinks in the preseason, they seem to be going that way perfectly. You know, we haven't made a lot of calls on preseason games, but so far we're perfect in the preseason. So, let's see. I need to get up that thread here. Let me close some windows. Close a couple more windows. All right. I got to get to this football preseason coaching record link. All right, there it is. I'll link this in the description in case you don't have this yet. Wait, what did I just do? I guess I wanted to make a new window. Okay. So, the Giants versus the Bengals. And the New York Giants coach, he is 7-7 in the preseason. So, here, I'm just going to make notes about this. We'll just do it down here. Hold on. NFL preseason. I don't want to underline. Giants coach is 7-7. New York is 78. Caller?
What's going on, Zach?
Hey, man.
I know you're going to do football, a couple things. I know Falcons going for 7 straight games over the Redskins. They beat Washington 7 straight.
Now, are you counting regular season games too?
Yeah. It's just all together.
Okay, so, all right. Now, I know you've been doing a lot of preseason. Have you been looking at things like that, regular season and preseason combined?
Well, it's just a streak, so it tells me that they own their team. So I don't see them losing unless you see something significant.
Oh, okay. Well, that is a good observation. I'll look more at it and see what I see. So I'm just going to go through it game by game and see how each coach record lines up. The first thing that pops out to me is the New York coach. If he lost today, he would be 7-8, and New York 78. So I'm just going to go through it each game and see what lines up with the coaches' records.
Okay. And also with that Colorado, John Gray fractured foot. That was his season-ending injury. Fractured foot equals 58 for a reduction. They got their 58 win.
Perfect. So yeah, it was a riddle.
Yeah, it was a hell of a riddle. But yeah, I'll let you get back to it. I'm listening.
All right, thanks for that, man. Good work.
Yes, sir.
All right, take care. All right. Okay, so the New York coach can fall to 7-8, and make sure I got the right New York coach up here. Yeah, that's Pat Shurmur. Now, what's up with the Bengals coach, Zach Taylor? So he doesn't have a lot to go off of. He's 1-1, and New York Giants, if you use the rule for S, is 73, which is the 21st prime. So we haven't done a prime number relationship yet. Bengals coach is 1-1. New York Giants equals 73, 21st prime. But it could go that way. So if he improved to 2-1, let's make sure I'm not missing anything. Bengals, Cincinnati, Bengals. Okay. All right. Let's see. Redskins coach. That should be Gruden. He's 12-10. 12-10. 12-10. Redskins. Washington. Redskins. Caller?
Oh, what's up, Zach? Do the Detroit Lions play today? I'm not the Tigers.
The Detroit Tigers in baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah, they play the Astros again.
Okay. Do you think there's 51 number? T Grizzlies manager slash auntie was just murdered last night, and I think her name has 51 in it. So I don't know. It might be a ritual for her.
She died 2 days ago, but the news was yesterday. And,
yeah, that's when the news came out.
Yeah, T Grizzly equals 68. Yesterday had 68 date numerology, and then she died on the 67 date, the blood sacrifice number. So.
Okay. All right, just something I noticed.
That is interesting, though. That is interesting because that was a Detroit story, and Detroit had the biggest upset of the baseball season in terms of betting odds.
Yeah, I think, and her name does have the 61 and 123 in it. I think her name's like I can't remember, Jobina Boyd, I 3. I remember that because those are conspiracy numbers also.
Right, right.
But yep, I'll let you get back to it.
All right, thanks, man.
Oh, no problem.
Take care. Okay. The Redskins and the Falcons. Okay, so Jay Gruden is 12-10. I'm just trying to think about those numbers in light of the opponent and his own team. 12-10. 23rd game. Falcons. 12-10. Atlanta Falcons. All right, what about from the Falcons coach's perspective? Well, he loses a lot. 5-14. Here, I'm gonna write out. I'm just gonna write out all the coaches' records and where we can, just in case somebody sees something I don't see. I'll have all this documented. Okay. Redskins coach is 12-10. I guess I should make a note here. Pre-season coaching records. All right, Redskins coach is 12-10, and he's going up against Atlanta coach is 5-14. All right. And then Panthers, Patriots. Patriots, that was a Super Bowl, wasn't it? A lot of times these preseason games, so we'll go back and look at that. A lot of times the preseason games where they're Super Bowl matchups, they're tributes to the Super Bowl, just like we saw with the 49ers and Broncos. 49ers won Super Bowl 24 over the Broncos, and they won it with 55 points, and they scored 24, and the San Francisco coach improved to 5-5. All right, so Carolina coach, Panthers coach is 19-15. Patriots coach is 45-35. And Ron Rivera was on that Bears team that beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I think the score was 46-10. Revolutionary 4-6 defense. Chicago 46. All right. Ravens and Eagles. Ravens coach is 35-12. And I believe they're going for their 16th straight win this week. What was it, Eagles? Pennsylvania's 53, the 16th prime. Eagles coach. Philadelphia Eagles is 87. Eagles coach is 8-6. Philadelphia Eagles is 87, so that stands out right there. If you do the rule for S, it is 96 as well, but that 87, I know that's a number I've documented with the Eagles plenty of times, 87. That's why I just remembered off the top of my head. So right here, 87 most pure cipher, 96 with the rule with S. Packers coach is It's 1-1. Whoops, hit the wrong thing there. And Gruden, I think he's got 35 wins. Remember, Gruden and Harbaugh both picked up their 35th win on the 35 date numerology last Thursday. Gruden, coach is 35-17. Jaguars coach. Jacksonville coach is 8-11. And who was it? Dolphins. Miami coach is 1-1. Okay, so far things that stood out: the New York coach could fall to 7-8, and the Bengals coach could improve to 2-1. New York Giants 73 21st prime. Redskins versus Atlanta. Oh, that's right, because Atlanta played in the Hall of Fame game. So they're 0-3 in the preseason. 0-2 at home. Just thinking about combinations of numbers here that could make sense. Let's see. Falcons. Atlanta. Falcons. Redskins. Redskins is 117 and 99, like when you write out 13. Caller was saying that Atlanta's dominated the Redskins. If Falcons won, they would be 1-3 in preseason. 13 equals 99 and 117. And Redskins equals 99 and 117. It's interesting the Redskins are the favorite on the road. I don't know why that would be. All right. Panthers and Patriots. All right. So he's facing the Patriots, right? Patriots equals 53, the 16th prime, just like there were 16 points in Super Bowl 53. So Panthers coach could get his 16th preseason loss versus the Patriots. And I don't think there's a connection. Oh, Carolina's also 53. I forgot about that. So he could get his 16th loss. But I don't think. Yeah, I don't know about for Belichick. If he was 40, I don't think Tom Brady's going to throw today. Maybe he will because it's week 3. But if he became 46 and 35 and Brady started today, Tom Brady's 46 and 35. Let me see. Is Tom Brady going to throw any balls in the preseason? Okay. The Ravens are looking for their 16th straight win. Picked up 14 straight to beat Jacksonville. Let's see. Pennsylvania. All right, I'll make a note about this. Pennsylvania equals 53, 16th prime. Ravens going for 16th straight preseason win. Again, the Eagles can fall to 8-7. Philadelphia Eagles is 87 in the most pure cipher. But they do have the 96 connection too, so it's not out of the question. Pretty sure we have no connection with the numbers through the teams. Other than that, Eagles, Philadelphia, Eagles, Baltimore. Oops. Baltimore, Ravens. Baltimore Ravens is 96. Ooh, that makes that tough. That makes that tough. They've won 15 straight. So what can I say about 15? 15 equals 38. Ravens equals 38. Maryland equals 47. 15th prime. Yeah, that's tricky right there. You got a narrative for the Eagles to improve to 9-6. All right, Packers and Raiders. What could make sense here? Raiders, Oakland. Oakland's 22. Oakland and Green Bay are both 41. Oakland Raiders, Green Bay, Packers, Packers. Okay, let me look at that one more time. Did I miss something? Packers is 37. If the Packers coach lost, Packers is 37, the 12th prime. He could fall to 1 and 2. We haven't done anything with prime number relationships. Just remember that. But I'm just documenting. So far, what we've looked for is where coaches' records can be just like their team, just like perfect. Boom. But as we know, primes are important in this. It's just never been done this kind of research on the preseason. So the only pattern I know that works so far is picking up the number that corresponds with either the team itself or the opponent. Rangers coach. All right. Miami equals 45, 9th, the triangular number. If the Jacksonville coach got his 9th win, let's see. Jacksonville. Jacksonville Jaguars. And let's see. Dolphins is 11-9, isn't it? So if he won, he'd be 9-11. The reflection of 119. Dolphins is 119. And let's see. Okay. So I don't see the last two games that we did, those, what was it, Minnesota and Seahawks. Remember, the Minnesota coach was going for his 19th preseason win. Seattle's 19, that looked good. And the Los Angeles coach had a chance to become 3-7 in the preseason. Los Angeles 37, Saints 37. He became 3-7 versus the Saints. Saints won with their signature 19 points. Saints is 19. I don't see anything quite as juicy as that. But if the Giants coach did fall to 7-8, New York 78, that would make some sense. I suppose you could even look a week ahead and see, you know, like how we do in the regular season, how things would line up with the next week's opponent. Where's the Giants at? I didn't see them. Oh, there they are. They play the Patriots. Okay. But the New York coach falling 7-8 would make some sense. The Bengals coach improving to 2-1. We'll see if the prime number thing matters. Get a clue there. If Falcons beat the Redskins, they would be 1-3 in the preseason, kind of like 13. Again, we talked about if you write out 13, it equals 99 to 117 like Redskins. Again, that thought's more abstract. So the Patriots game, Belichick could have a Tom Brady salute with a win, 46-35. Tom Brady 46-35, and the Panthers coach could get his 16th career loss. Patriots 53, the 16th prime, like Carolina's 53. This Ravens Eagles game I think is very dangerous. The 96 could play instead of the 87, and Packers coach did lose again. He'd be 1-2 Packers, 37, the 12th prime. Caller?
Hey, Zach. Do you think that the date numerology has any kind of play today in these games, in the football games?
So it definitely did last week. Last week there was 2 coaches that could pick up their 35th win on the 35 date numerology, and they both did. That was Harbaugh and Gruden. But I didn't see today's date numerology was 24, 42, 69. I didn't see that with any of the coaches.
So Jay Gruden, the Redskins coach, is 42 in full reduction.
Oh, you're talking about his name?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's something you could observe. Again, I've never gone thorough on the preseason. Like, I wish Pete Carroll was playing today. I'd be all over that because Seahawks equals 24. Carroll could get his 24th win. It's a shame they're not playing today.
Right.
But
so the only thing.
You cut out.
I said the only thing I really see out of the betting on is probably the Redskins, against the Falcons. Take them because Gruden, the connection of 42, and then the Eagles, I think, are gonna beat the Ravens.
If they did, that would end the Ravens' winning streak at 15 games in the preseason, and they would become 9-6.
Yeah, Doug Peterson, the coach for the Eagles, equals 181, which is the 42nd prime, and Eagles also equals 22 and 49. So it's got connection to the date numerology.
Okay. So just realize. I mean, it's a theory. You could be right. It's just the only patterns that I've seen that have been working out in the preseason have just been teams picking up, or the coaches picking up the win-loss that makes sense with either their own team or the opponent. But it could be there, so I'm going to keep an eye on that since you bring it up.
Yeah. And then the other thing, too, was I noticed that all the new coaches, they're all 1-1.
Uh-huh. 11.
So I don't know if
football's
if
a game of 11.
To do with it.
Of course it is. Football, 11, the master number.
Yeah.
They're rookies. It's their first season, too. 1-1.
Yeah. All right. Do you know if you're going to be getting into decoding each team individually with their records for the season, or
you have no idea, dude? I'm working on a monster packet. I got way more than that coming. So yeah, we're going to be doing a ton before the season starts.
So I've been kind of doing my own little decode for the 49ers because I'm a 49er fan, and I actually have them going 0-3 to start the season. I don't know if you've looked into that yet, but I have them going 0-3.
I haven't done that kind of analysis yet, but we'll be talking about all that before the season starts, so we'll do it, man.
All right. Man, right on.
All right, appreciate it. All right, take care. All right, you guys, let's wrap it up. Haven't eaten anything yet today, and I am hungry, so I will link all these notes. And just remember, be cautious on Thursday. It's not the best baseball day of the week. And we're hot right now, so let's stay hot. Again, don't give your money back. All right, Truth Seeker. Until next time.